Oh, okay. I suppose I should sit up.
Nah.
Oh, Jesus.
It wouldn't hurt.
Well, it did hurt. It hurt my soul.
Uh, That's not what I need.
We made it. It still sells the
What?
That what?
Oh,
on the stream.
What? I'm not streaming.
I am.
Yeah.
It should. It
Yeah,
like
I
on
am
my,
streaming. They're watching me eat pizza, so.
I mean, on my end, it's showing as being live, and hey, there we go.
Yeah,
Wow,
like it's
you've
working.
been sub for 9 months now. What the fuck?
Right?
Yep.
What up?
Yeah, dude.
What up?
I mean, we have started this campaign a year ago, so
Yeah.
Sense.
it's been a long time.
Yeah, that's about right. Tell you what.
Also, if you're confused, it means that Robin has his portrait, but his name says Belrith instead of Robin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like over top of
There we go. Has that been on since forever?
I
Probably.
don't know.
For all of the recordings since we stopped streaming, probably.
Oh god, now I need to check. No.
I didn't even when I was watching the VOD.
You just got my.
Hey.
I just got. It says Lady I9 subbed with Twitch Prime.
That's because it's my mom's Amazon Prime
Oh.
account. Yep.
You're a lady.
Lol.
I'm a lady.
He's
I'm
a laddie.
A laddie.
Laddies. Get lad.
I'm allowed to do that because we're streaming, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me just very quickly double check because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to GM with
I'll
a.
check volume.
Oh, we do need to do a check volume.
I'll do-
Everyone just go in order in Discord. So let's get Robert. Why don't you give me a couple lines at your normal volume?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Robert here, just hanging out with the group of my best friends playing D&D, dude.
And I need to boost you a little bit.
That's not your normal. Lies.
All right, try
I mean,
again.
that's my normal talking. How am I doing now? Is everything all right? Super
Yeah,
chill.
now we're a little bit closer to what I was looking for. Perfect. All right, Red, Sandy, hit me up. Volume check.
Hello, my name is Sandy, and I'm here to say that I'm talking on this very day. I don't know why I'm rhyming, and I can't talk. I think it means I need to sleep. I gave up.
We're good. Yeah, we're good now. All right. Next up is Soren. I'm gonna skip you, and we're gonna go with Sheik. Sheik, can you come back and give us a couple words?
Yeah, it's me, Alex, also known as Sheik for everyone else who's confused.
Yeah, perfect. I think you're very much on scale with everyone else. And finally, Heidi, hit me up.
It me, Mario.
I just need to lower you a tiny wee bit so that you're on
Trying to
par
say
with him.
loud.
No.
Rude.
He's
No.
not trying.
All right,
I'm not
so
trying.
everybody's good.
I'm just saying it.
Somebody needs to check me. Everybody else is good.
Checking you.
No, I can check it from my dashboard. I check where the peaks are ending, so you're good. All right. So, whose turn is it anyway? The famous British comedy show. No, I mean, whose turn is it to do the summary?
And me.
All right, then Heidi, hit us up with that sweet, sweet summary of what happened last on Rise of the Runelords, the Skirmisher edition.
So, last episode, we left off base of the mansion of the Foxglove Manor, and we broke off a chunk of the wall and tried where to put it so that we could have a sample to bring it back to Sandpoint, and in the fanny bag of holding. We had Sigus go into the room with all of the bloody room with all where the dead bodies were, and noticed that there was ivy going up the ceiling, but he couldn't detect any magic in detect. We decided that we were gonna leave since everything had pretty much calmed down. We tried to figure out as much as we could, and we wanted to make sure that we could get to Sandpoint before the ghouls got there. So we started leaving, and Robin decided that he wanted to climb the wall and failed miserably and fell into the water. And Dorbin provided some rope to him so that he didn't drown like he almost did like 3 other times. We'll go all the way up back to the first floor and look out the windows in the entryway, both sides. And it looked like there was nothing out there. And Dorbin cleared off his side, which was the north side, and was able to open the window and see that there were these weird undead crows, and decided to go out that way. Robin struggled on the south side to get the window open and tried to use his strength to break it. And the second he saw his Auntie Elle in the window, which is not the first time that it's happened in his house. But thankfully was able to break through, and we step outside and we figure out that these undead crows are carrion storms, and they basically are following us and act very vulture-like. I head over to where our horses were to look at the tracks and notice that the horses are gone, which I wasn't totally surprised about because I pretty much told them that if there was any danger to just flee and go back to Sandpoint. So I tried to track them or figure out which tracks were theirs and what direction they were going, and I failed because I don't know how to track anything. And Dorbin didn't do great either. And so we had Robin go ahead and scout ahead, and at the gate we noticed that it was broken, and it looked like it was just a horde of undead that had broken. And we were able to see that there were prints of both undead and some hoof prints heading towards. So we decided that we were just gonna hoof it ourselves. And when we start walking, we see that the crows are kind of dispersing in different directions. And as we keep walking, they're following us. And we head to, I guess, where we head north towards Sandpoint, where those houses were and the mountains. And we see that there is smoke coming from Sandpoint. And so we keep heading that way, and eventually we get to Sandpoint. We do notice that the crows seem to be following me only, because we tested that with Robin taking me ahead of everyone else, and noticed that they seem to be following me. So once we head to Sandpoint, we notice at the entrance that the terrain, everything's overgrown, and it looks like there was a situation going on. And when we get into the front entrance, we see a wooden tower with some archers that are requiring us to stop where we are and tell them who we are. So I say who I am, and they don't really believe. I think they're really concerned that we're ghouls, and so I try to that it's us by, and they're like, "Cool, did it. It's you." So we go in and we talk to them, and they seem very happy about us coming back, and everything has passed. After we, they said that they needed some relief and to go to Baylor, so we head to Sheriff Baylor, and uh, Robin decides that he's gonna climb on the roof on the way and start scaring people, and we yell at him. And Dorbin decides to the cathedral to see Father Santos, and Robin follows after the fact. There's just a realization of making sure that we can revive or resurrect Red properly. And so when he's there, he sees that there are a ton of people, and in various ways, and so Dorbin channels, and he in the cathedral, um, he goes and talks to Father Xantos and is informed that there is a lady that may be able to help with resurrecting or reincarnating Red, and she is related to his cousin. Don't quote me.
No.
Related to Ra in some degree.
Yeah, just related to Ron. Okay, and she's a druid.
Yes.
We're talking to Dorbin. She agrees to reincarnate him and does this whole ritual where he turns to dust and tells Dorbin that he needs to wait. And Dorbin has no idea what he's supposed to necessarily wait. After that, Dorbin and Robin go and they help excavate bodies. And in the meantime, Red wakes up naked in a forest, and guards find him, give him a very hard time. And Red is very confused about where he is, why he's alone, and why he's naked. And he's a gnome, and the members give him a very hard time about not just being a gnome but being naked, and they reluctantly give him a little bit of clothing. It doesn't really help that much, and heads towards town. And then Dorbin and Xantos, they leave the mayor's office, and they leave. They run into Red, and that's when Dorbin tells Red that he died, and that's why things aren't as they gave Red the whole rundown of what actually happened and why he feels and looks weird. And so Red heads towards Robin to get more information about something that happened. And in the meantime, with that, Silera and Sigus are talking to Gregory, and then ultimately walk with Sheriff Baylor to explain everything that had happened. And we learned from Gregory that a revenant is bound to their murderer, and we're hypothesizing that Aldern is still alive and she will be one for him. That's still kind of up in. We give them with the piece of the wall that we have. We don't really say a whole lot about what's happening with Sigith, and we go to the mayor and talk to the mayor about what the next steps are. And she helps us out and kind of is like, okay, well, we need to focus on making sure our townspeople are safe. We have to go banner and to Magnamar. And so we walk back over to the cathedral again with Grigori, so that Grigori can look at the piece of wall tube of the mushroom, and has liquid in it, and he shakes the test tube, and the liquid turns a darker shade to flesh and starts growing. We get a little bit more information, and we think the house is haunted and it's cursed, and something about a phylactery and liches, and so now we're headed as fast as we can to Magnamar, and Robin has like bolted and left us because about everything that, and that's where we left.
Right? Yeah. Maybe you went a little bit too into detail because I think that was like a 10-minute summary.
Listen, every time I do it, you're like,
Yeah, no, I mean sometimes I do catch people and go like, oh, you forgot a little detail here or there, but I mean you definitely didn't forget any detail this time.
Detail forgotten.
Maybe
okay,
went maybe you went a little bit too into detail this time. But yeah, go ahead, and I believe we were trying the new system starting last week. So go ahead and roll 4d(f) for fate die. So that we see what the balance of fate is for this week's session.
How do I type that in?
/r space 4df. And the F has to be, I think, needs to be capitalized. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure it does.
R/.
So I'm gonna just it's /r first / then R. I'm just gonna do it without the slash, so it would be like that, but with a slash at the beginning.
There we go.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
Okay, so you guys, so you guys have 1 die, and I get 2.
Damn. It does have to be capitalized, by the way. That's why it didn't work.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Well, on that note, we'll turn the clock back a couple seconds as we get back into the swing of things. Grigori had been given the remainder of the black box, sort of obsidian black box that you guys had found at the bottom of the mansion. And as he's holding it, you guys saw his expression change from a sort of professional interest in slight sort of anger and concern to just fear, as he sort of almost drops the piece, hands it back with the tongs back to Robin, who stores it away, and he informed you lot that that thing was a theoretically broken phylactery. So the house could very well be either housing or inhabiting a lich, or slowly be turning into a necropolis, as Robin suggested. And at that point, he tells you, like, we need to leave now. And Robin, as you said, takes off. So what are the rest of you doing? Because Gregorius sort of grabbing his things, putting everything back into his satchel, and he's starting to run back towards the garrison.
Someone got the money that was on my body. I gotta go requisition some armor real quick.
Robin has it.
Robin
gone.
gone.
Robin's gone.
Yep.
All right. Well, each person had a certain amount on them, if I remember correctly.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we
gonna
each have
stay
2
here and take
platinum
my
bars.
money.
All right.
I'll take your money. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Red basically needs to hustle over to the blacksmith so he can grab like a little buckler, and hopefully that leafy armor is still around because that fit a small sized creature.
Ooh, blast from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sigus?
Siggy's gonna try and chat with Dorbin and because basically Sigus feels like shit right now. He is fucking dying and tapped out, and he's trying to figure out what Dorbin's professional opinion is of what kind of healing he needs for the mushrooms inside him. Because he tried to use cure disease and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do anything until tomorrow, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's no one else in the town who has that, right?
No,
Probably not.
I'm the only one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I don't think there's much I need physically. I just need to survive the next encounter.
All right. On that note, then, Red, as you reach the Red, was it Red Dog? I think it's Red Dog's smithy.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it is actually named like Red
so.
Dog Smithy.
Jeepers
Hang on.
creepers.
Give me just 1 second. I want to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's the Red Dog Smithy. Damn it. PDF, load faster. On to shopping notes.
Everyone's favorite part of adventuring: shopping.
Yeah,
Shopping!
it's the Red Dog Smithy. That's
Red
more
Dog
of it.
Yeah? Red Dog Smithy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so.
Nice.
Yeah, so you go back to the Red Dog Smithy, and you find it not only open, but the forge seems to be roaring as the shopkeeper, the owner, in fact, who is also the main blacksmith at the joint, is going back and forth from what looks like a very poorly stocked armory right now, and he is putting out weapon after weapon and bolts after bolts after bolts for crossbows and then tips for arrows, and he's working as fast as he can. And there's a kid that lives about 30 years younger than him, so he's like late teens, like 17, 16s, and he's like manning the desk. Like, hello, yes, we're working on some more ammunition, if that's what you're here for.
Well, actually, I was wondering if you had anything that was a size to my stature. I am more a get up in your face type person, so I was thinking like little buckler, and my companions. I'm with the Heroes of Sandpoint. Mentioned that you might have some small sized armor from previous dealings with them.
Yes, I think we still have a piece of armor they sold us. Is that all you're gonna need? Just armor? I believe we have I think it was a leather set. It's magically enchanted, so it's very good quality.
Yeah, that I think that's the one they had mentioned. But I don't know what else do you got that's sized for my stature. He says, kind of jumping up and like holding onto the edge of the counter so he can talk to him.
Yeah. Well, we have a few daggers and short swords, mostly training weapons for young aspiring knights. Although some of them we do sell to halflings that sometimes come visit.
Eh, uh, I think I'm okay on daggers right now. He says, kind of flipping the real shiny adamantine switchblade around. But yeah, if you got any like kid-sized, I guess, shields I could use as a buckler or something, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, we do. I think we have. Oh no. I think we might not have a buckler. No, we had to requisition some of the inventory that we had, melt it all down for more weapons. They have been in a hideman.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured when I came up and saw the shop. Don't worry about it too much. The armor itself is fine.
Okay. I'll go fetch it, and I'll tell you how much I'm gonna need from you in just a moment. And you see him sort of get up, and he goes back to the back end of the shop. And as he's like pulling the robes out, you see the old man sort of stop his work and like stop him. It's like you can tell they're discussing, but it's hard to hear them over the roaring fire from the forge. And the old man, Das Corvett, takes the armor and he personally brings it back up, puts it on the table. All right. Sort of eyes you, squints.
Red'll kind of squint back up at him and be like, "All right, how are you today?"
Doing all right. Business is booming. What do you want? This piece of garbage?
Yeah, that's the magical piece of garbage, right?
Sort of nods as he grunts.
Yeah, that's the one. Although I did mention before, like I am certainly open to buying other things if you have other things that are useful to gnome-sized people. Yeah, I mean, that would be useful to someone like me.
Right. Hmm. $2,000 should do it.
Do I know if that's fair?
He's charging you a little bit less than full retail, but still pretty expensive. I mean, full retail would be like 2,250 to 2,300 thereabouts.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, are you willing to negotiate, haggle on your prices at all?
Say you were with the heroes.
Yes, I am, I guess, the newest addition to their company. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting you yet, though.
What's your name?
Red. Matches the hair.
Squints. Pretty sure they already had a red.
Yeah, I'm the new one. That one didn't do so well in the last adventure.
Fine.
I'm much harder to hit because I'm half the size.
Come back with one of them so they can vouch for you, and I'll drop the value to 1700.
Sure. Okay, hold on to that. I'll be back. And he scampers off to find, oh, Sigus. I know Sigus is good at, appraising and stuff. Maybe he'll be helpful.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you run back to the cathedral, and probably, I'm guessing because it's the closest location and the last place where you saw your companions, and you would probably catch them as they're sort of walking and talking with Dorban. So do with that what you will. So all of this, just very quickly before we go into the conversation, what is Salera doing? Because I know that Robin is just bolting and went off to Magnamar on foot.
I would
try and
stop Robin, and it wouldn't work.
I know this.
And I
would not follow him.
Would not follow him,
That would be
putting myself in grave danger when I
seem to be
kind of at the center of all the stuff that's happening. So I'm gonna stick with the rest.
All right. So in that case, Red, you catch up with the rest of the party, including Salera. And very quickly, I will point out that Rob, your mic is picking Heidi up, by the way.
Oh, okay. I will.
Just a bit, and it's every other word, so it's kind of wonky. It's doing that sort of effect where she's getting, as if she were getting closer and further away from the mic.
I'm totally doing that.
It's like Doppler effect.
Walking around.
She's like bobbing her head like a chicken. Just
yeah. I mean, that's how she normally talks. So
that explains a lot.
Wow.
I'll save the dirty joke for later then.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either.
Boo. Okay. So Red'll like run up and be like, guys, encountered an issue. Well, I don't think I ever met the blacksmith to begin with, but yeah, he doesn't think I'm actually with the group. I need one of you guys to come with me. Sigus, Salera, if you're not busy.
I'll come with you.
He remembers me.
Remembers.
Sigus, I think you got a good eye for stuff too, if I'm remembering my money counting correctly from earlier. Or our money counting. Definitely ours, definitely not just mine.
On the way over, Sigus will ask Red like what kind of deal he's talking about and try and get the details.
Right now, that magic set of armor that you guys sold to him, I'm trying to buy back because it's small sized, and he's given me about 1,700 for it. Now I know that's below market, but I don't know what the heck this stuff is worth.
Like,
I mainly stole things. I didn't actually buy them, so.
Okay, well, definitely don't say that in front of him. But generally, yeah. Like, if he's offering you 1,700 on market, like, if we hadn't sold it to him, we were buying it, that seems like a pretty fair price. Us selling it back and buying it back that we sold, we really have no, like, there's no reason for him to give us a better deal, but we can, like, if you really want to push it, we could be like, he's the only blacksmith in town, really, too, also, right? More or less.
Yeah, and
he's the only one that can provide this quality of service, essentially.
Yeah. So I think, like, we could haggle, but I think at this point he's giving you a pretty fair deal, considering he's charging you 300 less. And I think we goodwill potentially, but I'll take a knot on it.
Okay, yeah, just I mean, if anything, just make sure it's actually the magic one.
Absolutely.
Right. So you guys go back to the smithy. He sort of sees before you even arrive. He already sees you walking with Sigus, and you see him like, oh. And once you rose, all right, I get it. 1,700 will do it. Sorry to make you come all the way here, Sigus.
No, I totally understand. No one wants, especially in a time like this. Yeah, do you mind if we just see it, or it's on the counter? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
he sort of pats the like a bundle of cloth on the counter, and
Got
yeah,
And
he
it was
sort
just
of
it was a
removes the
plus one.
cloth and shows you the armor.
Sweet.
And
it
is
was
this... Go ahead.
no, sorry, and just if we remember it, because we identified them, I think, and it was like +1, or
It is a. There are two sets that you sold to him. That
Okay.
are small. You have a small leather armor and small hide armor, and both of them are +1.
got it.
Let me just check which of those is more useful. I think is leather lighter.
Yeah, the hide will be medium armor.
Yeah, hide is medium.
I can wear either. So I mean it really doesn't matter.
I
But
think
the medium will slow you down, and your speed is only 20 feet.
Oh, okay, yes. Then I definitely want the light one.
right, and you're not a dwarf, so you would go down from 20 to 15. Oh boy, yeah, that'd be terrifying. Yeah. So, yeah, he will. He had already brought out the leather armor, which is the one that looks like it's made out of leaves, and they seem to shift in color as if they're moving with the sway of the winds.
Cool.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Right, yeah, 1,700 if you can pay up front.
Yeah, sure. He'll be like, right, and then kind of pull out the 2 bars of platinum that Silera handed him and be can you break that?
If I'm not mistaken, each bar of platinum was
500 each, I think.
Oh, are they?
500 gold, yeah. So you'll need
I can
4
front
of them.
more. I can front some of mine, but I can check the list.
Yeah, a bar is 500 each.
Okay, sorry. I thought they were 1,000. Anyway.
No, 500. But yeah. I can break them right now. He grabs the money. He goes back to the back of the thing, drops the bars. It's like, oh, I'll just like. You can see him gesture. I'll just do it later. And he grabs. He goes through his sort of a satchel that he has on the side of his work area, and you see him bring out a couple of smaller pouches from which he draws some gold pieces and platinum pieces, and he brings the coin back to you, and he sort of drops the change, which is like 20 platinum and then 100 gold.
Thank you, Sigus and Silera. Hopefully this will keep me from pin cushioning quite as bad as the wink last red. He doesn't actually say wink. That is it.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, no more dying on us.
Yeah, you mean the last red. Yeah, we're keep no more red head count.
Hey, if you're all done, just get out of here and get to work.
That's what we're gonna do.
He sort of like gestures with his hand, like fuck off, just like and then goes back to his station at the back of the place.
And I'm just gonna say bye. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
What is up with this guy? You know,
And
like under his breath.
I'm gonna like thank the guy and head out.
Yeah.
So
he's always in a bad mood. Every single time the party has met him, he was in a bad mood.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys have your armor. You have paid for it. You let me know if you guys have any last minute preparations before you depart Sandpoint. At this point, Robin, you're about halfway there to the first river. So you're sort of taking the bend around the mountain.
Yep.
I think that we should probably like go as quickly as I don't want Rocky all by himself.
Yeah,
with all this, so.
Agreed. I don't think that's a great idea to leave him by himself.
Right. Just as a reminder, by the time that you guys arrived at Sandpoint, it was pretty late. It was, if I'm not mistaken, about like 4 p.m. And by now, after the meetings and whatnot, it is around like 5:30 in the afternoon. So it is getting to that point where the sun is setting already, because it is late autumn. But yeah, like, is there any last
Like
minute
I
thing?
don't know. Like the one thing do we want to reconsider whether we head out at night when?
Well, wait, it's getting dark.
Yeah, like it's almost midnight, so we'd be going there
No,
at
no,
night.
no. It's almost dusk. It's like
Oh,
5:30 p.m. as I just said.
got it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we'd be going there at night though.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so
but I mean, Gregory said that we gotta go, and Robin's already gone. I don't want to let him go by himself. Like, I
Alright.
mean, he's gone by himself, but we'll catch up
Yeah.
faster. And to be quite honest, like, if you're saying it's getting dark, I can't tell the difference. So I think maybe this did something to my eyes too. Out of character, he's got dark vision now.
Let's go find Dorbin and get his take.
Yeah, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He'll know what to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright. Dorbin, to all of this, what have you been doing?
Since I was in the chapel, I'd be seeing if I could get just a couple more holy waters because I'm running low.
Yeah, I mean they have been stocking up on holy water. Most of it has been redistributed back to the sort of guards and those who are assisting them. But they're sort of trying to pump out more holy water. It is draining the vaults, but it is what it is. So yeah, you could get some more holy water. They are preparing some right now.
If I get 2 more, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. If you have the coin,
yes,
coin
I do.
to spare, we're gonna need it, especially if you have it in silver.
I'm not sure I've got it in silver, unfortunately.
So that's all right. We'll just get whatever you can give us, and we'll see if we can find someone that will trade it for silver later.
Go ahead and hand them 75 gold pieces.
Yeah, all right. They'll give you, if I'm not mistaken, that's enough for 3 vials of holy water.
I'll only take 2 though.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You guys have helped out us a lot, so we appreciate that, and I just want to help where I can, obviously.
Right.
And
Right, thank you. I mean, I still think you guys have helped us far more than we have helped you, but thank you for still looking out for us.
well, getting red back was immeasurable, so.
The acolyte sort of nods a couple of times, and then he sort of, his body language suggests that he's like, do I go back to work? Is there anything else? He's not saying anything.
No, you're good.
Okay. I'll see you around then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you can see them sit down and go back to their prayers to try and bless the next batch of water.
Yeah, I head out of the cathedral, and I guess I'll look for the rest of the party.
Yeah. I mean, their interaction didn't take too long, so by the time that you come out of the cathedral, they might be across the plaza from there, so you can sort of spot them immediately. There's no one out in the streets.
Right.
Yeah, the party is back together with the exception of Robin, very quickly.
All right, Dorbin, I think I'm good to go. I think these 2 are as well. I think it's just find Gregory and hope Robin doesn't get eaten before we catch him.
Do I know Robin took off?
Yeah, we watched.
You saw him take off.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, as soon as Gregory said we need to leave now, Robin just fucking bolted.
All right. Yeah, we probably should catch up to him. I'm pretty confident our horses are faster than him.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
they should be by 10 feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they also have the run feet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And endurance, I think.
So hopefully we can catch him.
You should be able to if you choose to lead now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Then, as you guys go back to the Rusty Dragon, where I think you guys left your horses, you gather up your belongings. You ready up for a longer trip this time around. As you know, that Magmar is about a day and a half's time away. You saddle up and depart. And
Are we still stopping by at the house though to try and do that to like see if we can find anything, or are we just going right by it? Because it is halfway.
Well, let's take Grigori there. It
Yeah.
might be a good idea for him to know what he's looking at as well. He's got more experience with this than the rest of us put together.
And I think we should also respect the dungeon and take everything that
Also,
isn't nailed down.
Out of character, you guys are probably also going to remember Sam and Ruben as well.
Oh,
That wanted to go to Magnamar, but they were told not to leave because of the ghoul problem.
right.
So now you can bring them with you.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's a good call.
Yep. So like as you guys are going through the Rusty Dragon to get your horses, you would see Simon and Ruben sharing a drink in the main sort of bar area, the lobby of the house.
I will walk in and say, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Oh, good evening. Pleasure to see you again.
Good to see you too. And I wink.
I was just talking to Ruben, and he was telling me that he was very lucky to find you when he did in the roads. Said you had quite possibly saved his life. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think that Ruben saved his own life. In the shape that he was in, I don't know if as many ghouls as he did, but it was amazing.
What can I say? I do have that kind of reputation to my name, eh? Please be a little bit more modest. In any case, I seem to have recovered my bodyguard, with or without your help. Although I think it was more with your help than without. He says as he's like sort of holding a hand to cover his mouth from Reuven. Are we still on schedule to depart on Sunday then?
We have some very urgent business to attend to, and we are leaving now.
Oh,
I'm so sorry to spring this on you now. We just came back. And
but I personally have my things packed. I don't know if Ruben, you're good to go. I wanted to get some more drinks in. I've been able to, full rest, but yeah, I'm good to go. Let me just get my things, and we'll fetch some horses. Can you wait for us like 30 minutes?
Okay. Okay.
All right. And with that, you see Ruben pick up his mug, downs the rest of his drink, slams it back on the countertop, and he heads back upstairs. And Simon sort of gestures that he's sorry. So it's like I'll follow him, and goes after him. But yeah, unless there's something you guys want to do with those 30 minutes that you have to wait for them, let me know.
Do we want to talk about our plan, our tentative plan of attack?
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think on like swinging by the house though? I didn't. Sigus would really like to do that, but I didn't. I don't know if we.
Man, you're coughing up mushrooms. We got to go back there and see if there's a way to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can fix it tomorrow.
Well, I mean, that's well.
I
don't know, right? It didn't work today though.
Yeah, I think it's also, like there's some serious like magic, something really weird's going on in there, and there's a rich house, and like where we're going to Magnamar, we don't have a ton of money. I think it makes sense to get as much information and, to be honest, swag and any loot we can find. Like if there's nothing there, like it's already on the way. But I think also what we could learn with Gregory, I don't know what he is or what he does, just like an undead professional.
He's from Ustalav, I think. That's like undead land, basically. They're constantly fighting them there.
Got ya. But I think it makes sense to do a quick loop around, especially if we can go through with detect magic now, if it's no longer overwhelming.
Pretty confident it's still going to be overwhelming because I didn't do anything to stop the.
Got ya.
Yeah, right. The
curse
is still there. Oh God, I hate that house.
Yeah, if you guys don't want to, though, that's okay.
No, you're right. And plus we can check if killing the ghoul made the revenant go away. Confirm one way or another whether the ghoul was Aldern.
What do you guys think? And then on to Magnamar, where we're gonna hit up the church and then deal with that as our priority, and then try and find this house potentially as like secondary.
I like church as early in this as I can, because I do still feel like I got punched multiple times in the head.
Yeah.
I just don't see a benefit of going back into the house.
All right.
That's my only, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that anything has changed from the time that we've gone back to Sandpoint to now. That it would fix you. Because it seemed like every time that we tried something, nothing worked. And it didn't seem like there was anything in the house that we could use to our advantage.
This is much less to do with the like mushroom stuff and much more like it's just we know that there's the revenant upstairs and there's nothing more in the like downstairs except for in the rooms we haven't gone into, and we could do a slightly more thorough search, but we can always come back to do that.
I think Sigis's point about money is valid. Magnamar's not a cheap city. I've spent some time there, unless you're using the good old 5-finger discount.
I would like to point out that when we took things out of place, when the house reset, it pulled it back to it. So if we take anything, it's likely to fly back into the house.
That is a great point, actually.
Well, that only applies after midnight or whenever that reset, right? So if we pay for something
I'm not going to jip stores out of money.
I'm also
technically we're paying.
All right.
We know that it's not going to stay.
Okay, so let's
being good sucks.
All right. So we catch Robin and then on to Magmalad.
So as you guys are planning and looking forward to the future, about 15 minutes into your wait, Grigori arrives at the front door of the Rusty Dragon. He's like, "What is keeping you? I thought we were going already. What are you waiting for?"
Reuben and Simon, we have some extra holy power coming with us.
Yeah, we promised them
an escort to Magnamar.
Fine. Right. If it's holy men, I think it is a good idea to bring with. Pashka and I will be ready when you are, but don't tally.
We'll be about 10-15 minutes and we should be ready to book it.
Right.
I'll get the horses set. Oh, actually, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
I'm gonna have a good heart-to-heart with Shadow Mist.
Do we have a booster seat?
Don't think you do. To all of this, boop, you do have Nona's fish back with you. Since it was Ruben that took him and has returned him safely to the Rusty Dragon.
Unfortunately, someone else is going to have to drive, even though my ride checks are better now that I don't have any ACP.
Yep. But yeah, it's about like another 5 minutes. And Simon and Ruben are back downstairs, so they've been a little bit faster than they expected. And it seems like they're ready to go. They have a horse outside ready for them. They're going to be sharing one, but it's good enough for them. So,
Sounds good.
shall we depart then?
Yeah,
Sure.
It's about that time.
Right.
Let's punch it.
I'll
You're like, we're bored. Let's
do this.
Yeah. So now Robin is about almost an hour ahead of you guys. As you guys depart, whoops, wrong map. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Closing my eyes.
Still the wrong map, because this drags so slowly. Don't look at it.
Okay.
Not that any of it meant anything to me.
No, you guys are
No.
looking at maps of cities. Well, I ended up dropping you guys on the Magnamar map, which means which you're gonna see in just a moment. But it was meant to be a big reveal. So, you guys are departing with Simon, Ruben, and Grigori in tow, and Robin, you're about you have passed Cougar Creek, the river, and you're about where the word Ashenmoor is on the map. Yeah, where the red dot is, precisely.
Christ, he's fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he runs at the speed of a slow horse, and he never tires. So he is very fast when it comes to overland speed. Yeah, you guys set off on your horses, and it is about 3 hours. Actually, no, it'd be like by the time that you guys are getting to Foxglove River, Robin, you have been running through the road without any kind of interference. But as you're getting to Foxglove River and you see the sort of little outcrop of a road that goes towards the mansion, you do spot, like off in the distance, a humanoid figure and sort of walking up a hill and getting away from you slowly as they sort of descend on the other side of that hill. And it would be around this time that you hear horses galloping behind you as as the rest of the party is catching up to you.
Yeah, Robin doesn't slow down.
All right. I mean,
We will catch you.
Do the rest of us see this hill man?
I would say so because it is a very well-defined feature. It has been about almost 4 hours, so it is pretty late into the night. Those of you that have dark vision would be able to see this because it's like flatland, a single hill, and then a single sort of stick figure coming up from the other side and like lowering itself as it disappears.
Huh. Is that a deal with now thing or a deal with later thing? He says, kind of pointing. I'm assuming he's riding double with Sig, is kind of pointing over to the random figure on the hill.
If I have low light vision, can I see this or only dark?
No, it's like straight up night, and it's like
Got
pretty far away. So it is well to the point where you only see darkness, and you can vaguely see the silhouette of the hill, just because the night sky does have the beginnings of a crescent moon. So it's like there's a little bit of light right now.
Have we seen? Have I seen a figure like this before? Like,
I mean, have you ever seen any kind of man walking out at night? Then yes. Because it looks like the vague silhouette of a person.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not
I
gonna.
mean, I don't see any reason to stop.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you guys catch up to Robin, and as you do, your horses are a little bit faster than him, so you pass him by, and then you slow your horses down a little bit as he's running now, keeping up with the rest of the group.
Hey, Robin.
Who do we have on who? You're on Shadow Mist. Dorman's on Shadow Mist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red and Sigis are on Fish.
Yep.
And then Grigori is on Pashka.
And we're pulling known as with us. Or no,
Simon and
Sourdough.
Sourdough. Do they have a horse or no?
Simon and Reuben have their own horse.
Okay, so then Sourdough is still available for me to ride.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
attached to Shadow Mist.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I think I can manage that.
So you hop on Sourdough and you continue with the group. Now going at full throttle at the full speed that the horses can handle for long distances. And sure enough, you can see like 3 hours later. So you've been like riding for almost a full day's worth of work. When you can see in the distance the beautiful lights of Magnamar in the middle, in the darkness, sort of cutting through the darkness of night, and you can tell like the city's pretty far still. You've got several more hours to go of riding, but you can just see the lights now. If you didn't stop and you push the horses to their breaking point, you might be able to make it by dawn.
Yup.
We're doing that.
All right.
Like,
People
when
who are
you say breaking point, how broken do you mean?
you won't be able to ride your horses for a full day afterwards. Maybe more.
I
If you
don't
want to
really
rest
want
the horses, I can just go. Or they can slow down. They can match my pace.
Maybe
not-
slow down and match your pace. I don't like the idea of being stuck, especially with all this going on.
Robin
Agreed.
will hop off and, give Sourdough a little bit of a break and just fucking start going.
All right.
Robin, you are a true marathon man. Not that I know what a marathon is.
All right. Who's riding Sourdough in your stead then?
We're tying her off to another one of the horses.
Yeah,
I
So
think.
Shadow
you're
Mist.
leading her from another horse.
Yeah.
All right.
I can just lead Shadow Mist while
So-
running. Or not Shadow Mist, Sourdough while running. Just like, here, come here, we're going for a run.
So
You're walking the horse.
Mm-hmm.
just so we're clear, going a little bit slower won't change the fact that the horses have been running for a full 8 hours. They need rest in order not to become fatigued come the next day, because it is now like past midnight. As
Is there a place for us to rest that's safe? That appears safe?
You're sort of in the middle of the road right now. You have a little bit of a patch of forest to the south and to the north of you and sort of west.
Yeah.
It's just plain lands as far as the eye can see. And that's the only reason why you can see Magnamar from so far away.
Like,
I-
I'm also
You guys
pretty,
rest. I'll go.
yeah, I'm also pretty against dumbing the horses, but I think in this case it might actually be worth it, just because if it takes, like, if we have to coordinate with people, but we all will also need to sleep too.
Right.
Yeah, and get spells back, a la Dorban.
But that's,
Yes.
and yeah, so. Do we want? Yeah, but we can also get there and then sleep.
Does being reborn count as a full rest?
You're fully. You are fully rested.
Yeah, okay, so I can take first watch pretty easy then.
The most roundabout method of getting a full night's rest. Just fucking die and reincarnate.
Yeah, you also feel like shit because you have a couple negative levels, but yeah.
Yeah, there's that too. Well, I'm not getting rid of those anytime soon because they're permanent until we visit the clerics anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Simon feels like being helpful. I don't think he's that high level though.
Love that all of you have assumed that he's a cleric.
He might be an inquisitor. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got the holy text.
I did not know he was a holy man. I thought you were bluffing when you told Grigori that.
Oh no, I straight up thought he was a cleric.
No. I mean, he is a holy person.
Yeah, we don't know.
He has holy text, but we don't know if he's a cleric or.
Yeah, there's a couple different flavors of.
He could be a commoner.
He could just be a noble who's a priest.
Yeah. Could be.
Also,
yeah, he was all about that butterfly.
Your next husband, as you've had previous husbands.
You don't know anything about my life.
I mean, that's true.
Imagine this conversation happening on Shadow Mist.
I like how it's like
Durbin's writing like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can see that. Right,
we're like, oh, they could be all these things, and like, at no point do we care enough to ask them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you guys are sort of writing, and as you guys are debating, like, should we stop to rest or not? Grigori sort of, while everyone's discussing, goes like, whether you rest or not, I am pushing till I get to Magnamar. So, Robin, if you're keeping up, then keep up with me. And he sort of is breaking away from the party at this point because he's pushing it, maintaining speed as he's going towards Magnamar.
Okay, sounds good. As long as Robin isn't, all by him lonesome.
Yeah, I mean, if Grigori's doing it and he's going faster than me, I mean, it's not really going to help if I have the broken phylactery and he doesn't. So,
why don't you guys just ride double on Pashka?
I could see if I could hop over. Yeah, if he's going to stop or slow down to let me hop on.
Yeah, like he sees that you're trying to keep up and you're slowing, like losing momentum. He sort of slows down and offers you a hand to get back onto Pashka while moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you sort of clasp arms and he pulls you up as you sort of climb onto the back of Pashka, who sort of neighs and then breaks into a sprint, sort of half scared of something crawling on her back. And as Grigor's sort of trying to calm her down, she maintains the momentum, and you're starting to break away from the party.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Well, I mean, this is good a place as any. We got good sight lines. There's a bit of cover in the trees if we need to hide.
Yep. Find a little crevice that we can all rest at.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, there is a good looking spot. Looks like someone recently made a camp not too far from here. Judging from there's a very clear area where a bit of land was cleared, like a little bit of the forest was cleared. And sure enough, like you find the remains of what must have been a fireplace at some point.
Cool.
Sorry, not a fireplace, a campfire.
I mean, it is a place of fire.
Yes, so. But it is a campfire. Like somebody dug a hole and put some stones to keep it contained.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't see the body of the last guy here, so this is good enough.
Yeah. So you sit down to rest a little bit. Your horses are sort of heaving as they come to a stop. And they very quickly bring their heads down to sort of shake their bodies, take a deep breath, and then go about munching on some grass for the time being. And like Simon and Ruben join you guys as you stop, and Simon sort of approaches you guys and goes, "I must ask, was there a problem? I thought we were heading to Magnamore.
The horses are cooked. We had to stop, otherwise they're not going to be able to go.
But I mean,
so
I could offer you money to cover the expenditure of getting new horses when you get to Magnamore. I don't see how that is a problem.
I mean,
fair point.
All right.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you could have brought that up when we were having this conversation like 30 minutes ago.
It's all good. To be fair, this guy was like, "Hey, will you guys deliver the magma?" We're bursting. We're like, "We're going now. There's a zombie apocalypse. Now we're sleeping in the road."
Now we're like, just kidding. We're stopping now.
Because we're sleepy.
Our horses are little bitches, and they need to rest.
Yeah. To all of this, it is now a little bit past midnight, and I need to ask both Sigis and Silera to roll fort saves for me.
Real quick, before that happens,
yes?
Did I bestow my protection on either of them? Do either of you have rings of protection?
No.
They are cloaks of resistance. That's what it is. Anything that gives you an enhancement bonus to saves.
I have a cloak of resistance.
Enhancement
so I
or
can
resistance?
So
It's fine.
my question before they answer that is, what are you using to give them a resistance bonus?
My cleric domain power.
Okay, how long does that last?
6 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, then no, because diseases are ongoing effects. So, like, if you give someone a bonus for 6 minutes, it doesn't happen during those 6 minutes. It's just to check to know how much it progressed during the last 24 hours. It's not like there's a clock and when it hits a certain mark, it's like, oh, explosive growth of fungus.
I mean, that'd be fun.
I mean,
rule of cool.
Yeah, it's the same way that in the same way that Robin needs to take what is that? Antitoxin?
Anti-plague.
Anti-plague once a day, every day of the week, if he wants to receive a bonus.
Gotcha.
So you said fort saves?
Yeah, fort saves from both you and Sigus.
I thought only Sigus was infected.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think there was anything wrong with me, but
might not be that. It might be something else.
Yeah, I know. That's
So-
why I was rolling it.
Oh boy!
Ooh.
Look at this kid.
Damn.
Wow! All right. So,
Both of you.
God, I needed that.
so Sigus, you still feel like the stomach, the mushrooms inside of your stomach, and you can feel them like over the course of the day. They have been stirring about, and you can feel them sort of growing and then getting dissolved in your stomach, and it's like absolutely disgusting because it feels like you're always full, like almost engorged with food. But you don't feel any worse right now. It sort of feels like you're getting used to the sensation in your stomach. And Celera, you sort of feel that itch every now and then, and like it sort of feels like you're wearing maybe like a raw wool sweater kind of thing. Like it's just a little bit too itchy because it's directly on your skin. And you can like at night as you're sort of taking off your gloves in order to rest up for a little bit, letting the horses rest at least for 10 minutes. You sort of see your hand and you can see that you still have those sort of rashes and blots of what looks like deceased tissue, like what's the word that I'm looking for?
Mange?
No. The skin condition that in the medieval times was sort of like the most
Boils.
Boils. Thank you. You have sort of like small boils in your skin, as well as like a moss-like growth to it, which has been there, at least to you. It has been there since you were bathed in the fungal growth that came out of the portrait back at the manor. And as you sort of had shown it to your companions, they couldn't see anything growing there. But as you see it, it has sort of grown and like spread over your skin, over your hand. But it hasn't become any more noxious. It's just sort of spread further.
I'm just gonna be like, Dorban, what's wrong with my hands?
Dorban?
And I'm like showing him.
Yeah, Dorban, you see her hands. She has boils. She has a growth of fungus and moss on her skin.
Does it look like what Sigis has?
Oh, quite a bit. Yeah, no, it's very likely the exact same thing that Sigis has, although in a very much less severe state.
You have what Sigis has.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So,
and I'm like taking deep breaths. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll work on fixing it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it takes all of my high-level spells again, but... So, just to note, everybody, if you guys stop getting sick, it'd be great.
I didn't try.
We're working on it.
I thought that this was it all in my head. Apparently not.
Well, now it's on your arms.
Now it's on my arms. You're right.
Wow. You're the real MVP, holding us together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting sick, y'all. God damn.
Literally every morning,
clerics for
half
real.
Half of Dorvan's spells just goes to healing everybody, fixing whatever's wrong with them.
Well, it's cheaper than going back to the church or whatever every time. Otherwise,
Oh,
we'd be
yeah.
heel broke.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
But-
if you considered the fact that Red got sick 3 times in one day, you
really what we should have done is every time we should have just waited right until the end of the day. You accumulate whatever diseases you accumulate, and then you heal them. It does make you kind of suck through the day, but
yeah.
Some of them have an onset much longer than that, though.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys are sort of checking your health and like trying to calm yourselves down, 10 minutes go by, and the horses seem to be a little bit less agitated. And Simon's like, "All right, we should get going. I promise I'll just get you new horses. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
Can I sense motive him?
Sure. Give me a sense motive.
That dude wants to get to Magnamar yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but like,
why?
I don't. Yeah. Yikes.
I mean, he wants to get to Magnamar 3 days ago, as he had planned, and just doesn't want to stay out here in the open during a series of murders in one town and a undead horde in the other. So
fair enough.
Yeah, he looks nervous and he looks afraid a little bit.
Okay.
Well, let's hit the dusty old road.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you get back on your horses, who've very quickly become not too keen on the idea of moving again. But sure enough, they sort of neigh and sigh and start moving as you guys sort of push it towards Magnamar.
It's okay, Shadow. We'll get a big rest afterward.
Yeah, and you guys go, and you arrive. I mean, 30 minutes after Robin and Grigori. So we'll handle that first. Robin, as Grigori and you arrive at the gates of Magnamar, you find that there are quite a few guards on the outside with torches, walking about what looks like an encampment outside the gates, outside the walls. As you can see, there are several sort of wagons stopped at the gates. And they have formed sort of a makeshift encampment outside. You can tell that there are several people sort of waiting in line trying to get into the city, and they were sort of discussing with the guards there. And it's like 1 a.m. right now, and they're still at it. Like there's just a few.
There's
people.
a lineup.
There's like 4 people in a lineup. Yeah, discussing with one of the guards. And the gates are closed. Like there's a giant portcullis that is keeping the city under lockdown.
Robin's going to be like, Grigori, I'm gonna take my leave here, friend.
Where are you going?
I'm going around. I'm going around that because that's gonna take a while to get through.
All right, you go there. I take official route.
Peace. And he's just gonna fucking backflip off this horse, basically.
Yeah, Pashka sort of is slowing down at this point as you guys are arriving in the town, and he gets off. As he starts walking with Pashka by his side, and he approaches the group to try and see what's going on. Robin, what are you doing then?
So pretty much the plan is it's nighttime, and I'm going to be full round action to light steps, so I don't make any sound touching the ground, and I'm just going to stealth my way around this camp, like all the way to the actual walls of Magnamar.
Sure.
Walk up the walls.
I will remind you that the walls are 100 feet tall.
I can walk on walls.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I can go up those walls in one turn.
Okay. Yeah, with a no, you shouldn't be
with
able
a run.
To.
Yeah. 3 times movement speed, 120 feet.
You can't run and light step at the same time.
It's a full round action. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So either you don't make any noise or you're running.
That's fair. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna, not make any noise because there are probably people on the wall. So.
Okay. Are you making yourself invisible or just trying to naturally blend in?
I'm using the cover of night. I don't have any key points left.
Okay. Then give me a stealth roll for this.
And before all of the guards have dark vision. Like, hey, who's that fucking guy over there?
I mean,
a big city.
As you're getting as you're going up the wall and getting closer to the top, you can tell there are braziers every about 50 feet on the walls that are keeping the entirety of the wall lit. And you can tell there are a couple guards up on the top of the wall, sort of guarding walking from side to side as you sort of reach about like 15 feet underneath the lip of the wall. So you can't see what's going on, but you can hear them go like, all clear, all clear. And they walk away in one direction, walk in the other. You hear in the distance, all clear, all clear. They walk back.
Okay, if Robin's underneath the lip, that means that the people on the wall can't see him, and he's kind of in the shadows. So he'll wait for a decent enough moment, and he's gonna just kind of fucking climb over that. He does have. Let's see, what would we do here? All right, so he would sort of like press his back against the wall, like in the lip of this this thing that he's hanging off of, and just sort of like snap his fingers quietly, and he would just be wearing like a stealth suit, like a ninja fucking skin tight with that fur thing around.
You're wearing a Black Cat suit, is what you're saying.
Basically, Robin is dressed like Black Cat, yes. And it looks dope. And also, he totally didn't get this from his Auntie Elle. That's not how that happened at all. Yeah. It's just, this is what you're supposed to wear when you're a cat burglar, all right? Come on.
Okay.
So he's using that to be stealthy. And, yeah, he's gonna just go over that lip and just be all slow and shit and real quiet and keeping his eyes open.
Yeah, so you sort of go over the lip. You look to your left, you look to your right, and it looks like you sort of waited until you hear the all clear, and you heard the footsteps moving away. You jump sort of at that point, go over the lip. And as you're looking around, there's two guards moving away from you. You move onto the top of the wall, and you hear someone.
Hold up, though.
Go ahead.
Once I get to the top, like once I see there are two walking away from me.
Yeah.
How far is it from the outside of the wall to the inside of the wall?
It's about. It's not a short distance because this is a massive fucking wall. Yeah. I actually need to check the map. Hang on, give me 1 sec. I need to check the map to see what the scale on those walls is.
Like, I could see the wall being like max 30 feet wide, but maybe like 20.
No. These are giant walls. When I say they're fucking massive, they are fucking massive. They are like 50 walls, 50 feet wide.
50 feet thick?
Yeah.
All right. So once Robin hits the top, he's going to acrobatics to jump so that he like doesn't even touch the ground. He's just gonna like get as far as he can and then just start fucking going.
All right. So you get to the top, you sort of stand for a second, and as you sort of getting ready to leap from one point, from one end of the wall to the other, you do hear someone. You're like, "Hey, Larry, is that you going over there?" And you sort of see on a nearby tower, there's a guard sort of holding a torch and waving it in your general direction. It looks like they can't quite make you out, but they can tell someone is there. And do you still want to leap from one end to the other? And so you realize what's going on.
How far away is this guy?
About 100 feet from you.
About 100 feet. And where the moonlight is coming from, is it making shadows on the edge of the wall that I'm standing on, or the other one?
It's midnight, so it's literally casting a shadow directly beneath you.
Directly beneath me?
Yeah.
So
like you probably have a little bit of the top of your head being lit up by the moonlight.
Okay. So at that point, Robin's going to, basically assuming that the dude's gonna blink, Robin's gonna like drop straight down to the wall that he's on, like crouch a bit, throw his cloak of Elvenkind around him, so it sort of like blends into the stone, and he's just gonna stealth there, and he's just not gonna move.
All right. Give me another stealth check. Right. Okay. Yeah. You see the person from where you're standing, sort of like with the corner of your eye. They sort of stop waving their torch, and they sort of you see them call down. It's like, Larry, wait, you're here. Go check over there. I think I saw something, but I'm not sure. All right, you got it. And they start heading back in your direction, and you hear them like jogging towards you. It's like
one dude still up there watching me, or no?
The one up there is sort of watching in your general direction, but they are not like directly looking at you. It's more like they thought they saw something, and they're sort of like moving their torch around, see if they can get a good point of view. And the person that is coming towards where you are, sort of jogging in full plate. You sort of stop about like 20 feet from you, sort of at the center of the wall, and they're like, let's see, it's probably just a rat, Larry. I don't know, it looks pretty big. God damn it. As they are sort of marauding around, going back and forth, trying to see if they can find you, but to no avail. They sort of, at one point, are standing about like 10 feet away from you, with the torch sort of one hand on the lip of the wall, the torch sort of leaning over and like trying to see if there's something hanging from the wall. And they still don't see you, as they sort of pull back. It's like, Larry, there's Sorry, not Larry. Larry's the one looking. I don't know, dude. Doesn't look like there's anyone here. Come on. It's probably just a rat or maybe something that got caught in the wind. Fine. Leave it alone. And he starts to march back. And he sort of waits there for a couple of minutes, like about 10 feet away from you, up until the other guard comes around and says, all clear. Yeah, I mean, look, he says that he saw something, but I can't find anything. And they are talking like 10 feet away from you. Like,
yeah, it's a good thing that I get a +2 bonus if I'm just not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like, I can't see anything, but he insists that there's, he saw someone, so we gotta check. All right, fuck it, let's go. I mean, the two of them are now searching together and like moving in circles around, and like about 10 minutes later, they get back to the center. It's like, all clear, and they start moving away from each other.
Once that fucker up in the tower has turned around to check the other side, I'm just gonna light step to the other side.
All right. Give me one final stealth check as you're breaking out of your camouflage and trying to stealthily walk from one end to the other. All right, yeah. Yeah, you sort of unseen, with no sound, glide from one end of the wall to the other. And as you get to the other end, you see the beautiful lights of Magnamore sort of lighting up the entirety of the streets of this wonderful city. As you're standing on the high-rise end of Magnamore. I'm assuming you're gonna climb down the inner side of the wall.
For rule of cool, can I just like Assassin's Creed Leap of Faith off, and then like as I turn around and do the barrel roll, my legs hit the wall and I start walking down?
You will literally kill yourself if you do that here.
No. But well, then I just walk down.
As cool as that is, here that will kill you. As you start to walk down, you do see that the inside of the walls does have what looks like not a barricade, but like spikes on the lowest level, sort of protecting from things falling, like stones falling from above. And you can tell like the walls don't seem to be in perfect shape. Like there are batches where cracks in the wall have deteriorated to the point where pieces of massive bricks have fallen. And you can see like at some point one must have fallen onto a house that was built adjacent to the wall, because there is the remains of a shack with a large stone sort of encrusted into the center of it. So Robin, you are now within Magnamore. Is there anything you'd like to do there?
Well, from my high-ish vantage point while I'm walking on the wall, I want to see if I can, because there are lights, sort of identify where there'd be a cathedral or a temple.
So from your vantage point, you can tell there is several like key locations that are like immediately obvious. One of them is what looks like a cathedral, like a massive cathedral. Another looks sort of out of place. Like the architecture of that place is very different to everything else. It's a massive building with a sort of triangular ceiling, rooftop, that has like heavy sort of marble looking archways either end of the building. And if you've out of character, if you've seen the Parthenon, it sort of looks like the Parthenon.
Okay.
But if they had scaled the building to about like 10 times the size.
So Parthenon, but high fantasy. Gotcha.
Yeah, sort of high fantasy Parthenon. And then the one other building that is like within sight and looks rather obvious is a mansion that is placed within a massive garden with what looks like several fountains and a hedge maze at the back end of it. And everything else is like very closely built. Like houses are almost touching each other. In parts they are sort of almost fused together into clusters of homes. And then there's that mansion that sort of has a massive amount of greenery around it.
Okay.
Aside from that, you are currently in Magnamar.
All right. Well, he's gonna go immediately for the Parthenon.
Right. You're currently all the way over here.
Okay.
Right over
Southeast. Oh, the eastmost gate.
Yeah, the eastmost gate, which is the one that connects to the Lust Coast. And you are on the side, I would say you're on the side that sort of oversees the Alabaster district. You can see the mansion on the map right there.
Yeah. Sure can.
Yeah. The Parthenon looking thing is this one over here. The mansion is the one over here.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, he'll pretty much try and use the rooftops. He's basically gonna Assassin's Creed the fuck out of this. He's just gonna like light step on the rooftop, like jump where he can, and just like be a ninja, dude. I don't know.
All right, yeah. So
gonna be his
as you're light stepping along the rooftops, you can see that the streets are pretty heavily guarded here. There are like about a guard every other block, and they're sort of walking in circles, sort of patrolling the city. And I don't know if you can tell the scale of this city compared to Sandpoint. Sandpoint was about like the
size of this.
Yeah, Sandpoint was the size of that chunk there. Like,
yeah,
it was 300 feet across. So like that is
even
Sandpoint there.
This dock, like this, even like just that.
Like a tiny portion of the docks is what Sandpoint would represent. So yeah, like this city is massive, and the amount of guards that you've seen so far, like there's more guards in these two districts than there are people in Sandpoint. And as you're walking along the rooftops, trying to keep within cover, you do see like every now and then some of the guards are sort of looking up. And you don't see them looking at you, but it looks like they are trying to spot something above, and they're like sort of looking down below, trying to spot something in the alleyways as they're sort of circling around. In the meantime, the rest of the party would be getting to that point where they see the walls, and they're about 10 minutes out. They can already see the encampment from where they are. Robin, where exactly are you headed?
Well, if Robin came in from this wall here, he probably came up like right along here, and this is the tower that he got spotted from, probably. So he's probably coming down the wall right here. He's probably traveling along these houses, sort of using these, maybe not going right to the edge, but probably cutting across here, wherever he can, wherever seems safest, and then he's going up here and then up here, straight to the cathedral.
So just a reminder, this is the Parthenon-looking building, and the one that very much looks like a cathedral itself is this one all the way over here that has a sort of golden. What's the word they're looking for? It's not capital. The cusp of a tower. A dome at the top of the tower that seems to be made out of gold from where you're standing. Sort of has that beautiful bronze-like sheen to it from where you are.
Well, whichever screams Iomade, he's pretty much going to end up getting to this corner right about here anyways. And from there, he'd just like go like along the roofs all the way.
Okay. So before you get to the cathedral, the party will have arrived at the gates. So everyone else, you guys arrive and you see the same thing that Robin saw moments ago. You see a makeshift encampment of merchants and travelers with tents and wagons as a group of 5 now, one of them being Grigori, are sort of trying to convince the guards to open the gates and let them in, from the looks of it.
Hey, Grigori, nice to see you. We were a little delayed.
Good, good. Good. You decided to come. I gates are closed, and they say no more registration until morning. So
Registration? Can I roll a knowledge local to see if this is normal practice for Magnamar?
in the times that you've been to Magnamar, this wasn't a thing. You don't need to roll.
Well, I mean, if there are murders that are happening, it would make sense that they would
document people coming in and out.
They would be documenting who's coming in and who's
document
leaving.
people going out, sure, but I mean, if the murders are still happening, what the hell's the point? We're probably gonna have to sweet talk the guard.
I mean, probably if the murderer leaves and they can tell who left, they'll know when the murder stopped. And then if that person comes back and they start up again, you can tell that that's the person that was murdering people.
Well,
honestly, I think our best bet is to tell the guards we have information about the situation they're having inside. Obviously, be very slight with all of the information that we give, but that could get us in the city tonight.
We don't.
We do.
We have information about what's happening outside.
Yeah, but there's a connection between the two.
Oh, right. Yeah, the house. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're probably going to ask what the information is, so...
Yeah, that's the only thing that I
mean, tell them that you don't feel comfortable telling them and that you'd much rather tell somebody of higher authority. Because you don't know... Obviously, nobody knows who it is. So it's best to keep the information we have to as few people as possible. And if they'd like to escort us immediately to a ranking official in the city, that is 100% understandable and okay with us.
And also,
I guess that's the fast way.
Simon and Ruben, they're trying to get here too.
Also, where's Robin?
Right. Yeah, that is a good question.
He sort of looks back and sees that you guys are still somewhat close to the garden. He sort of leans in. Robin decided to take shortcut to get inside town.
Of course he fucking did.
Please tell me if he gets caught.
If he gets caught, he's gonna get blamed for all of
murder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's maybe not say murder. So.
I mean,
we all know that's why
have
we're
you
being
ever heard
stopped.
of a dwarf whisper?
Fair.
No, because they're so good at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. Okay, sure.
All right.
Let's go.
I mean, yeah. Let's. I guess you can do the talking if you want there, Sailor. I think you're probably the most convincing. You or Dorbin.
Yeah, I think it's her by a long shot.
And unless you want me to try and scare his boots off, but I don't know how scary I am anymore.
I think it's best if Sailor takes the lead here.
And I'll walk up to where the guards are.
Also, I will walk up next to her with my holy symbol showing.
Yeah.
Both on my shield, my crossbow, and my actual holy symbol around my neck.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because I'm having a little bit of a heartburn. I'm waiting for it to pass before I start talking. Just 1 second.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. Sigus.
While that's happening, just real quick, for Sandy, because I know that now you're small and you also intimidate, there's a -4 penalty on intimidate checks for every size category the target is larger than you.
It's -2.
Is it -2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, Solera, you said you wanted to spearhead the conversation, and Red is coming with you then.
Red and Dor.
Sorry. Yeah. Dorbin is coming very openly with his holy symbols, but Red, are you joining them?
Yeah, bring the whole crew. I'm like, guys, we might as well bring everyone so that when if they let them through, that we all get through with them. Come on.
Sigus is also going to chat up with the people who we were bringing though, so that they're not near the back and not necessarily involved in the conversation.
Sure. So
actually, real quick before we start, I'll turn around and talk to Simon and be like, can you get us in?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Who?
Actually, don't have.
You did seem in a hurry.
I don't have any kind of authority over the watch, the Magnum watch, but I might be able to pull some strings if they are very vehement through.
Sounds like they're being pretty stubborn, so we may need you to jump in here.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Definitely let Sarah lead the conversation, because obviously she knows how to talk to people.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Good evening.
And as I was saying, you... Just 1 minute. Look, as I was saying, you're not getting in tonight. You just have to wait till morning. Look, we'll do the registrations when the sun is up, and we can check through all your baggage, right? But can't you wait?
I understand that you have protocol in place, but we have some very important information regarding the situation that's happening here, and that makes us very important, and we need to speak to somebody of authority about what's happening.
Right, I can take your declaration.
And if you could let us in, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I can't let you in, but I can take your declaration, and we'll see about letting you in if the information proves to be true.
Okay. My name is Silera.
Just come this way.
Okay.
He sort of gestures for a couple of guards to take his place, and he starts leading you into a sort of like shack that is built outgoing from the wall itself. And he opens up the door and sort of gestures for you specifically to come in. And he sort of looks back. I don't know if the rest of the party is following after Celera.
Hey, Celera, do you want us to come with you or wait?
I would prefer to at least accompany her. Make sure she's safe.
I'm gonna have to ask all of you to just wait outside. Ooh, that hurt me.
I'm so sorry.
What I do wonder what is the cost for that sort of ding?
So because of the fixes I've made to the headset, every once in a while, if I moves a certain way, it cuts the power to it, and that's the sound of me turning the headset back on.
Okay.
I will try and like better at the muting because I think it bypasses the muting, but I will be more cognizant of that because I've never heard the sound, so it's hard for me to remember.
It's a very loud buzz.
Buzz combined with the doorbell.
Yeah,
sorry about that. I will work on it.
Yeah, no worries. I just was wondering because I couldn't pinpoint what it was. But anyways, as you guys, Dorman, as you were saying, like I don't feel comfortable leaving you alone. The person there goes, I'm gonna have to ask you to stand back. I need to take declarations privately, one-on-one.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of declarations to take, my dude.
Can I sense motive him before I go in?
Sure.
Clicked it. Hello?
Give it a minute.
Maybe 2.
There we go. Nah.
Why don't you just perform oratory?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, just add whatever your perform skill to the 15, or re-roll. I don't know whichever one you want to do. I guess.
Let's see.
I think we usually just take the roll and then.
Yeah, just take the roll and add the bonus. What's your bonus on performance?
Stupid.
It's gonna be stupid high, anyways, because you rolled a 15. You get the feeling like this person is like the way he's acting and the way that he's talking. He's still chewing on like a piece of tobacco as he's talking. You get a sort of sensation that they're sort of sleazy in the sense of they don't really care about your reasons. They just care about doing their job, or more specifically, getting the job done by themselves, kind of thing. Like I want credit, kind of sensation.
Right. Do I feel like if I go in there by myself that I'm harmed in any way?
I mean, you get the feeling like they are the type of person that might request sexual favors kind of person, but this situation wouldn't account for it. Like it wouldn't make sense, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like they are gonna take your declaration, but you're not certain the reason why. They are being like so cautious about it.
Okay. I am going to Dorbin a look. Like, if you hear, come in, but I'm going to head in.
All right. Just holler. We'll go in if we need to.
He opens up the door and gestures for you to head inside first, Celera.
Okay.
After you head in, he closes the door and he puts in a latch in place.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Would I be able to get next to the door?
Yes. There isn't another extra guard at the door itself. They are sort of about 20 feet at this point behind you because they are sort of preventing the people from getting close to the gates.
As long as I can touch the door, that's what matters. I'm going to use my ability to use clairvoyance through the door to listen to the entire conversation.
Sure. You put your hand to it, and from the outside, it sort of looks like you're leaning against the wall, and you guys are sort of lining up for declarations. Meanwhile, on the inside, Salera, the person sort of gestures for you to take a seat, and the only things in this shack are a desk against one wall that is covered with papers, and we're talking stacks, about like 3 feet tall stacks of papers. And then there's a central table with chairs on opposite sides. And you immediately recognize this as being like an interrogation room kind of thing. And he gestures for you to take a seat on one end, and he moves on the opposite end. He doesn't immediately take a seat, but he sort of gestures for you to.
I would like to remain standing, thank you.
I'm going to ask you to sit down so that we can keep this as succinctly as possible, right?
Okay.
I need your full cooperation if you're going to give a declaration that is going to be considered.
Okay.
Right. So, what valuable information do you have? He says as he grabs what looks like a folder, like a paper folder from the stack, puts it on the table, opens it up, brings out a quill and ink at the table, and he sort of gestures for you to answer.
It is very sensitive information. And I look at him like, kind of like with a smirk on my face, like, I don't know why you thought that I was going to tell you all that I know.
I mean, look, if you feel you need to keep details to yourself because they are some sexual nature, you can skip spare the details. Okay, about that. Now, I need the information that you are so adamantly advertising. As he sort of taps a couple times. He taps a couple times on the paper. What?
And then I stand up.
Right. You're not gonna declare. Gonna have to take you into custody.
For what crime?
Withholding information pertaining the series of murders occurring in Magnamore.
I never said anything about murders. I said that I had sensitive information about something going on, and I would like to speak to somebody of authority in order to provide information that I have.
You're talking to someone of authority. Now,
and
would you like to cooperate? I'm Sergeant Cadron. First Sergeant of the Magnamore Watch. Now, if you'd like to cooperate, instead of being forced to, I would suggest you take your seat back and start talking.
I'm going to sense motive him again
Sure.
because he didn't sound like that was his name.
Sure. No, that was me fucking up the name.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh shit, is it Cadron pronunciation?
Gotcha.
He sounds like he's not too confident on his rank.
Also, she has a plus 14 if she uses perform oratory.
Oh yeah,
instead
yeah.
of sense motive.
Again. He didn't sound too confident on his rank. Like, I am Sergeant Cadron. Probably he was recently promoted or demoted. You're not certain. But he, as far as you can tell, Sergeant sounds like it's a place of authority. You can give me a knowledge local to see if, for some reason, you know about military ranks in Magnamore. I mean, Sergeant is someone that is in charge of a unit of 5 men. Usually, they are involved in investigations or guarding a specific area, like they're assigned to a nobleman kind of deal.
Or a waypoint.
Or a waypoint, in this case. They could also be assigned to an investigation.
Okay.
Traditionally, they have a direct superior in the form of a lieutenant, and then above them, above the lieutenant would be a major, and above them would be the commander of the forces of the Magnamore Watch. It's not terribly high, but it is still a figure of authority. It's sort of like a deputy sheriff kind of thing.
Right. Okay. I will take a deep breath and take a seat. Say, I think we got off on the wrong.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, if you're good to cooperate, I think we can have a productive relationship. So you were saying sensitive information.
I'm like biting my tongue not to say anything
That's not
after he says
honeydew. This dude's got honeydew vibes. I'm just saying.
a little bit, yeah.
The thing is, you don't understand what the honeydew thing is. There's an inside joke from another campaign with Soren.
Which another investigator
Yes.
had the same sort of like, because he was always eating fucking honeydew melons, and we're like, oh, this dude's the fucking villain.
All right, so sensitive information. He's like notes down on something on the paper, which you could try to read upside down.
Sure.
His handwriting isn't amazing. Give me a Are you trying to not make it obvious that you're reading what he's writing?
Yes.
Okay, then give me a bluff check. And I think you can still use perform oratory for this.
No, she does not have any of those.
Okay. All right, then give me a bluff.
She has points in bluff.
Do you think it's okay?
All right, I mean, if you're going to roll 19 with a plus 11, all right. Yeah, I mean, you're sort of like trying to maintain eye contact with him, and like when he's looking at the paper, you look down and try to figure out. And he's just noted down a couple of declaratory statements, like this is Sergeant Cadron taking an account of pertinent information to the current case from Salera, and he sort of stops and says, "Is that Salera got a surname, family name?"
Just Silera.
Right. Solera, and like he notes down Solera, no name, no house, coma, and like keeps going. It's like, so pertinent information. What was it?
No.
Yeah. A lot of people don't have houses in Valerian, and by houses I mean families.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. It's just funny that Solera is a. Anyways, so I understand that you want to take my statement, and I appreciate your due diligence with this. But I need to speak to somebody of. And I pause just to kind of like trying not to
offend
him. Somebody of authority that would be able to assist us in.
Look, I'll put it simply. I'll just say it one last time. That is not how this works. Look, I'll explain it in simpler terms so you can understand me. You tell me what kind of important information it is that you think you have, and I'll decide whether it seems pertinent and pass it along to my superior. Alright? That's how things work here.
Okay.
I'll ask one last time. What pertinent information do you have?
Just curious. Who do you report to?
Don't have to answer that to a civvy.
I appreciate that. But I'm just curious. Who do you report to?
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oratory,
this is gonna. I think you can use performance oratory in this one.
Perform oratory you can for sure.
And you're gonna want a really good roll.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Oof.
Repeat what phrase you used, because you were essentially asking him, like, insisting on who he reports to, right?
Yeah. I mean, who is your lieutenant, or who is it that you report to?
Look, I understand that. Maybe you're new to this town. Have you been to McNamara before? And out of character, you have been to McNamara on your way to Sinpoint, just an FYI.
Oh yes, I know. And
you said your name was Salera, right? He sort of gets up and starts to walk over to a stack of paperwork. Like, starts going through folders. S. Opens it up, starts going through papers. Ah, Salera. Oh, there was only one. That makes my job a lot easier. Sort of takes a single piece of paper out of the folder, closes it up, puts it back in the pile, brings it onto the table, puts it on the table, and it's like, Salera. Oh, Sunstress. I thought you did. You said you had no name. You have no family name. Says here you left town 3 weeks ago. Sort of looks over to you from from the paper.
Okay.
All right. You arrived on a Corvosan ship, still docked at the dock. The Misfortune, a wonderful coincidental name. Look at that. The murders started happening a week after you arrived at the town. Isn't that an awful coincidence? I think, I don't know about you, but it sounds to me like I have grounds for an arrest here. At least a indagatory, cursory arrest. And like, he's still standing and like he's... Sorry, say that again?
And it sounds like you're reaching.
Good thing that I have room to reach out in these times of crisis. He takes out a pair of handcuffs from his belt. You don't mind, turn around and put your hands behind your back.
At this moment, Dorbin's going to tell everybody that she's being arrested because she won't tell him, and she wants to talk to a city official, and he will not go to a city official. Also, he has hinted at sexual favors helping out her situation multiple times. And then he'll ask the party, are we going in? Or are we going to let her get arrested and then proceed in after? I assume if she gets arrested, I think we should just all get arrested.
Hey, Dorbin. Look, I've dealt with this kind of scumbag before. I've been in and out of this city more times than you can count. Just let me go in with some gold. I can fix this.
I'm not going to pay him. I'm not going to allow this. This cannot stand.
Yeah,
he's a city guard.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. They're all
also Dorbin's almost shouting at this point.
Look, and Red will grab him by like the collar and like pull him down to his elbow and go like, look, half of these guys are on the pay for the Skirmishers. They are not just guards. If he's on pay, I got him by the balls. Let me try this.
So while the party is finding the right approach that they want to take, Salera, are you resisting arrest?
That's another charge, for the record.
Yeah, I'm obviously sorry. I think I was muted. I am not going to resist because I am not a moron.
Right.
And I am going to say, I think that you're making a mistake. I have nothing to do with anything that's happening here. And if you will read me my rights, I will kindly shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So as you say that, he says, he puts the handcuffs on your hands as he sort of like, he's a little bit rough as he grabs your hands, sort of twists them up a little bit, pushes you against the wall, and puts the handcuffs on and says, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. As he's sort of like essentially reading your rights to you. Outside, Dorbin and Red and Segis, what are you guys doing?
If someone's handed him a couple like some gold, he's just gonna go in.
Dorbin will not.
No, no one's handing you any gold. Plus, you already have all my gold.
Okay, well, if I kept the change, then I'm just gonna go.
Why don't we just tell them? Like, did she tell them any of the information?
No, and I don't think we should tell. He's a fucking lieutenant.
Nope, he's a sergeant.
Yeah,
whatever.
But like,
look,
what do we have to lose at this point? So there's in jail. Worst case, they don't believe us and they don't let us in.
I would rather all of us go into jail and just tell a city official than tell some lowly guard and the information getting leaked out and the person getting away.
Have you guys been gotten into Magnamar before? Put up your hands if you have.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, I have.
Segis, I believe you have.
I don't know. It depends how much backstory that I wrote has been approved of.
Enough that you would have lived in Magnamar for some time before you moved to some point.
Okay, well, you know how these guards at the gates work. They're paid like shit. They're treated worse, and half of them have drinking and gambling problems. Who do you think funds those?
Is that true? Like, I'm searching my brain.
Both of you give me knowledge, local, as you're trying to.
No offense, Red. Sometimes you misread the non-criminal elements.
I know nothing. Red, literally every single guard that you have interacted with in Magnamar has been crooked in one way or another. Sigis, you haven't had the distaste of coming across a single crooked guard. So you guys have very opposing views on this, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is that, like, my entire time up until now has been getting in and out of the city without signing any paperwork. Like, if there's a chance of getting her out of this without getting us out of this without us all ending in jail, I would like to at least try it. Worst case, he's just gonna get angry at me for trying to bribe him.
So what's your plan? To
And
run in and hit him in the head with a bag of gold? Dorbin's not gonna have this fly.
This is not okay.
Dorbin, at this point...
I thought you turned over a new leaf.
Well, no, look, Dorbin, how long are we going to spend in the city jail while they're deciding if they want to talk to us
Most
or not?
likely a day at most.
No. How big is Magnamar? We're not spending a day in there. We're going to be in there for weeks while Sandpoint gets eaten. Well, this murder spree goes on.
Yeah. Very quickly.
Can
Sorry to
turn
interrupt
around
you.
and just like walk away?
I'm gonna interrupt you there for a second.
Yeah.
Dorbin, are you still maintaining your clairvoyance? Okay. You're gonna hear as Salaris being put in handcuffs, and he is about like 3/4 of the way through reading her rights. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" As he sort of he pulls away from you, and like he's looking at your hands that have a fungal growth in them, and he's like, "Oh god, I've been it's like brushing his hands against his clothes. It's like, oh god, I'm infected with this." As he runs over to a side and like puts gloves on, it's like, oh god, you've been rolling around with undead probably.
Dorvin will very quickly tell Sigus to cover any sign of infection.
I don't. Do I look infected?
Not externally. Don't show anyone the inside of your throat though.
I will not.
Yeah. You guys hear? Well, Dorbin, you hear that from the inside, and Celera, you can react to that as you will.
Look, I'll go with you guys. I'll go with what you're saying, guys. But if we want to be in the city and we want to be doing things and we want to be able to get in and out, I can make that happen, or we can go with the jail option.
I mean, getting in the city is the most important things. I don't care if it's in jail. I mean, I'm pretty confident that at the very least, Simon, we could obviously we don't want Simon to go into jail with us. He can at least get us an official to talk to, somebody of some importance, to get us out of jail quickly, so that we can talk. Because we got him here. So
to all of this, Grigori, Simon, and Ruben are talking still to one of the other officials, the lower guards, and like they are talking with the merchants to see what's been going on. But they are not with you right this moment.
Honestly, Sigus, if you want to not go to jail, that's completely understandable. I will not allow this kind of discretion to be used by somebody who's supposed to be guarding the city.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't need it to be me. I just think one of us shouldn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Like
I think you are the best person to not go to jail.
I wouldn't do well in prison.
I mean, Red knows jails pretty well, I have to assume.
Yeah, Red's mainly been not in them, but has been adjacent to them, I guess.
So he will be a boon to have in there. So I think that you being out here with your knowledge, and especially since you used to live in the city, that I feel like you're the best person to stay out.
Okay.
I
hope they don't take my holy symbol away from me. I'd be really upset.
As you guys are standing outside, you hear the latch unlock. And the door, Dorbin, that you're standing against is about to open.
Do I know if he's leading or if Silera is leading? Or is there any talk of like him like shoving her, like you go first or whatever?
No, but you did hear some shuffling. Up to Silera, she's responding to the shuffling in any way. He's sort of like pushing you, Silera, and moving you sort of roughly as he's got one hand, sort of one gloved hand, holding onto your like bicep on one arm. You've got your hands handcuffed behind your back as he's sort of moving you forward.
I am muted. I am reserving my right to remain silent.
All right. It's funny because we could still hear you, but through Robert's mic, even though you were muted.
It's all funny that you're remaining silent and muted, but yeah.
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 But yeah, then Dorvin, you don't hear who's coming out first.
All right, I will just step away from the door.
All right. You see...
And I am
Segas
going
will
to
go.
also, if I can, hit like one of my elbows with my satchel, because there's papers in there.
Okay, so you're trying to keep your satchel sort of securely hidden, or at least tucked into your body.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys see Salera being dragged out, or pushed out of the shack at the front, and he's sort of holding onto her arm. She's got her hands handcuffed behind her back, and you see this guy sort of walking out, sort of looks over to you, to the lot of you, and says, "All right, the lot of you are coming with her."
Yeah.
On what grounds?
She's being arrested. Are you gonna?
If she's being arrested, what crime did I commit? Being with her?
Are you vouching for her? Yes or no?
100%.
Okay, then you're coming with me.
And you will likely get demoted very soon.
Sure, I will. All right, now come this. And as he's saying, like, come this way, you guys see the door that the guards are using to come in and out without having to open the portcullis opens up, and another official, he looks like he's of a higher rank, judging from the better looking armor, comes out and sort of looks around. You see Kadron sort of shuts his mouth, looks at the person across. Person looks across back to them and looks around, and he comes directly to the lot of you and says, "Sergeant, what is going on?" Sir, I'm just taking some people in for interrogation.
Unlawfully arresting a bunch of people who are trying to provide information pertinent to the investigation going on.
I will handle this personally. Please hold your tongue for a moment. He sort of holds a hand to you. On what grounds, Kadron? Sir, they hinted at the fact that they had information. In fact, they requested that they wanted to share this information with an official and have since refused to cooperate. So I am taking up... Kadron, not this again. All right. I'm sorry about this. Kadron, go back and handle the paperwork. Handle the paper. He sort of stops him before he can reply. Points at the shack. He looks at you, Salera. He goes, "I'm terribly sorry about the actions of my underling. Give me just a moment. And he sort of turns, looks like he comes to you, Salera, to undo the handcuffs. He sort of stops for a moment, puts a glove on, and then unlocks the handcuffs. Says, "Sorry for the problems. I'll handle this personally. Security hasn't been...
Does that help?
Security has been a little bit tense lately. We have had a series of murders to handle. If you wouldn't mind moving back from the gates for a moment, I will talk with my sergeant here for a moment, and I'll hear your side of the story in just a moment. You're free to go if you please."
Thank you.
Wait here.
He's about to head in, and he stops and says, I'm Lieutenant Lycott, by the way. If you, for some reason, need to file a complaint or anything, you have my name for that." He walks into
the complaint's not going to be about you, my friend.
He heads into the shack without hearing you. Closes the door behind it. And you guys can hear... you can't tell what is being said, but some shouting is going on inside. In the meantime, Robin.
Yep.
Give me a perception check as you're walking from rooftop to rooftop.
Robin gets murdered.
So, Robin, as you're walking from rooftop to rooftop, you come across another person that's walking from rooftop to rooftop, and it's like, huh. They look at you.
Face to face.
Yeah, it's sort of face to face because they came from around a chimney, and so did you. It's like, hello. They sort of look back at you and says, not from around here.
You're not from around here.
Touche. Sort of step to the side. There's a sort of gesture for you to take the left side of the rooftop to keep moving. And they sort of start slowly walking along the rooftop towards
What's this
you.
guy wearing? What's he got?
He's got a set of robes that are like you can tell there's a hood on them, but it's like pulled back. And they have like a thick black paint covering their entire face. So the only thing that you can see from their face is the white of their eyes.
Okay.
And you can tell like it's like a very good camouflage, but the fact that the robes sort of have these intense orange colors, it sort of clashes a lot, but at the same time it doesn't, because most of the city seems to have a lot of torches and like street lamps that seem to have that hue, that sort of orange hue.
Okay.
But you can't.
So it's basically camouflage.
It's like it's like Magnimar camouflage.
Urban Magnimar camouflage. Okay.
Yeah. Sort of.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and the robes are basically concealing everything.
Yeah.
All right.
You can tell there's a little bit of armor poking from underneath the opening where the neck is on the robes, but that's about it.
Yeah. And so this guy's got like black paint all over. He's got blackface on, all right? And Robin's got like
essentially
rune tattoos covering his face. So both of these shady motherfuckers show up and like, no, after you. No, after you. No, after you. No, I insist. After you. No, after you. And Robin like has an opportunity. He has a very important mission to sort of do at this time. So the process going through his head is like, I can do something that's not going to slow me down, but also might give me some other information that's sort of going on. And he's trying to remember sort of what was in that note that we got off of Aldern. And he's like, he remembers something. He knows what the Sahedron is. He knows something about some sort of ritual going on. And there's a mention of the brothers, and I'm just looking at the handout that we have, and I'm just like picking words. And he's like, okay, maybe I can say something that'll get him on that. And he's probably gonna have to bluff, but he's gonna be like, did the mistress send you, brother?
Give me a bluff check. Oof, that 4.
Yeah.
Oh. Give me 1 second.
And I'm ready to knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, he sort of looks at you up and down and says, brother? Why aren't you wearing your ceremonial robes, brother?
Because I'm coming from out of town.
Didn't know there were brothers out of town, but good to know that the word of the good Lord is spreading.
It was the little operation going on in Sandpoint.
Ah, good. Well, the night will keep your secrets then.
Is this dude straight up just being like this evil dude in front of me? Is this just a thing that's happening? Oh my god.
You rolled the random encounter for the person that we need. Good job.
All right. I mean, if he's gesturing for me to take the left and he takes the right, I'm gonna wait for him to take the right and fucking sucker punch him in the back of the head.
Right. He's in like he is starting to move along the side, the right side, but unless, like, are you taking the left side and like waiting until you're sort of at the same height, kind of thing?
No, it's like once we cross past each other, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna turn around and slug him.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll as you're trying to sucker punch this dude.
Yikes.
Oh no!
I mean, it is flat-footed.
No, it isn't.
It isn't.
No, it isn't.
Oh shit.
They also have uncanny dodge, my dude.
Oh, they have uncanny dodge. Oh shit.
Yeah. So you go to sucker punch them, and they sort of like turn and duck as your hand like passes over them. It's like,
oh shit, this ain't happening.
Traitor! And he starts
happening.
bolting away from you.
I'm faster than he is. Let's fucking go.
Go ahead and roll me initiative. Without a token. We don't need a tracker. I just want to know if he's gonna go first or you're gonna go first.
Oof. Damn.
Yikes.
That's rough.
Oh, he goes first. Nat 20. Nat 20'd. So he sprints down to the side of the building and jumps off into the darkness.
In which direction?
West.
So if I'm going
westward.
This way.
You were going northward? He's going westward.
Okay, at which point between these two areas does it happen?
You were getting really close to the cathedral, so you were like around here.
Around here, and he's going this way.
And he's going that way.
Well, I mean, I'm faster than him.
Yeah, but you sort of lose line of sight to him because he jumped off the building to the side, so you don't have line of sight to him anymore.
Once I go to the edge, I'm gonna look down and see if I can see him.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
All right. Yikes. Guys, I can't roll tonight. Help.
You get to the edge, it's like, fuck, where did he go? And like you're looking around and you see like a torch flicker. It's like, there! And like you look around and you see a rat coming out of the alleyway. It's like, fuck, no! And like as you're looking around, you've lost track of him.
Fuck. Alright, well, I have a mission to do, and I'm gonna run. I'm gonna take note of like the building that I was found that this dude was on. Which was like, let's say this one, I guess? I don't know. I don't know if it matters.
Well, you sort of found him at random on a rooftop, and he was clearly coming from somewhere else.
Yeah,
but we'll mark
he did
the
run
building.
off. Yeah, and he did run off to the west as well. So I'll just sort of keep that in mind, because he could be trying to throw me off. I don't know. But I'll be like, from where I am, I'm just gonna be like, guards, there's a dude. He's running. I don't know where he went. He's on the road, and then he's just gonna fucking run because he said he's on the road, and then Robin's gonna run along the rooftops towards the cathedral.
Oh god. Give me a bluff check as you're trying to fool the guards.
I'm not lying. I'm like, no, that dude's
running.
running.
No, but the fact is, you're trying to divert attention to somewhere else while you're on a rooftop. So I need a bluff check to make it so that you essentially don't draw attention to the fact that you're on a rooftop shouting this. Because who the fuck is on a rooftop in the middle of the night?
This guy.
I mean, that was actually decent.
Yeah.
That's not that bad. Give me one
Still
sec.
Can't
I need
roll
to roll
above a fucking 10 to save my life, literally. But hey.
You hear one of the guards go, he's on the rooftop! Don't let him fool you!
He's going west!
You see two guards at like, they are separated from each other by like 150 feet. And they're almost equidistant from you. And one of them is shouting, he's on the rooftop! Don't let him trick you! As they start running towards the building in which you are, but they don't seem to have spotted you yet.
Right.
And they're sort of looking upwards.
All right. Well, Robin's going to go down onto the street if they're looking up, thinking I'm on the rooftop. Now they're going to be looking at the roofs. And I know where they are, right?
Yeah. You can give me a stealth check as you're breaking line of sight from them. Moving away from them.
I sort of know which way to not run.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
fine.
No. They lose track of you immediately. It's like you go in the opposite direction, go into an alleyway, and it's pitch black in the.
And then once I'm on the ground, I'm gonna be like, they went west. Go west.
Give me another bluff check.
Another bluff.
Hey. Alright, there we go. Yeah,
Also,
so like,
is there Is there anyone else on the streets?
Right now, no. The streets are only manned by guards at night right now. So Robin, you hear one of the guards go like, "Who said that? Fuck! There's someone else out here. You get back to your home, old man. There's murderers on the loose." And you hear their footsteps start to move to the west, one of them, and the other one is like moving in your direction, trying to find you. It's like, Sir, where are you? Sir, you need to get back to your home.
All right. Making noise this late at night. Can't handle it.
Apologies for the disturbance, sir. Just get back to your home.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? Yeah. As he hears you accept the order, he starts to move westward as well. And a couple seconds later,
right to the
yeah, a couple seconds later, you see a fire arrow being shot into the sky, and you see a response flare essentially being shot from a couple other towers.
Well, I mean, I didn't catch them, but they might. No honor among thieves, apparently. And Robin's just gonna fucking go towards the cathedral.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you start walking towards the cathedral. Give me a perception check as you're walking the dark alleyways of the capital district.
I will also be using light steps as well, for the record.
All right.
Because why make noise when you can not make noise?
Yeah, exactly.
True.
I said give me a perception check, not a stealth check.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah. All right. I mean, your thing. You do see every now and then, like, there are guards roaming the streets, and they seem to be going into the alleyways, which you haven't seen before. And they are coming with torches into the alleyways, carrying. Each of them is carrying a longsword in one hand, and they have what looks like a pike on their back with a standard.
With the torch.
What? No, they have longsword in one hand, torch in the other, and on the back they have a pike, which at the very tip of at the base of the blade of the pike, it has a standard with the symbol of Magnamar. And they're walking through the alleyways, sort of ready for combat as they're sort of trying to illuminate the dark corridors.
Okay. All right. Well, Robin's gonna, be all camouflaged and shit. He's gonna look at his attire and be like, "Hey, maybe I should add some of that like orange stuff to mimic, the torchlight like that guy was using." And he's just gonna like add tiger stripes to his catsuit and be like, "Oh fuck yeah, buddy, let's go."
Okay. Yeah, you sort of it helps you blend a little bit more with the environment around you. It essentially grants you a +2 to your stealth as long as you're within Magnamar.
Nice.
And as you're getting closer to the capital, to the cathedral in the capital district, you eventually get to that sort of area where you can see the street is a little bit wider, and it's separating the cathedral from the houses surrounding it. And you're sort of approaching the cathedral from the back right now. But you can immediately tell, like, even though it's being illuminated very poorly by the moon, you see the semblance of Iomade, the gallant knight, as she is sort of standing with her shield and sword at the ready, depicted in a vitro, a massive vitro in the cathedral.
Robin's gonna look up at it and be like, "Okay, so I realized that what I did was probably questionable, but I'm here for justice, so please forgive this intrusion, I guess." And he's gonna snap his fingers, and he's gonna be wearing a tabard that has like Iomade's colors and like Magnamar's crest somewhere on it, and he's gonna flip his any tool into sort of like a bucket helmet, and he's gonna put it on, and he's gonna be like, "This is gonna have to do. I'm a paladin now." And he's gonna fucking walk straight to the front door and be like, I need to speak with Erica. That's his plan. I'm gonna be like, I know Erica. I need to talk to her. I'm just gonna walk up, look in the part, and I'm gonna do it. Yes.
Yeah, you start to walk around the cathedral. You get to the front door, which is currently open, and you see that inside, standing guard at the entrance, are a couple of paladins in full plate armor with their helmets on, as they are sort of standing ever vigilant, looking outwards from the cathedral. And inside, you see that this is from, you're standing outside, but you can look sort of into the cathedral. There's rows after row of sort of wooden benches standing sort of beneath the Gothic tall building that is the Cathedral of Ayamade. And it looks like there's quite a few people, and all of them seem to be clerics or paladins of Ayamade. They are all sort of talking or sharing prayers right now.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're standing outside currently, and there's the two paladins sort of guarding the door between you and the interior of the cathedral.
Robin also realizes that he now has a longsword on him, which is actually going to make him look the part. Robin's going to like sort of hold his hand up to just like wave and gesture that he's approaching, and he's going to start walking up towards the paladins at the gate, making no attempt to like sneak in, just straight up going up to the door and being like, fuck, I need help now.
Right.
Right now.
Give me a disguise check, essentially, because you pretty much used you created a disguise on the spot. I want to see how much of the details you got right, because we know you got some of them right.
Yeah. I will have a +2 on this, because if I just make the disguise and then take no actions, I just get a +2.
Yep. I'll give it to you.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dido.
Right. As you start to walk past the paladins, they sort of turn their heads to you. They sort of look you up and down and go like, "Good evening, brother. Were you helping the gods tonight?"
I'm sort of going to take the helmet off, and I'm going to sort of like get down on my knees, and I'm going to be like, I need your help so bad. I need to know where Erica is.
Give me a diplomacy check right now.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Not bad. They sort of look at each other, then look back at you and go, perhaps I heard you wrongly. Who did you say you were looking for?
And Robin's going to look up at them, and he's going to be like, I'm looking for Paladin Erica.
Which Paladin Erica?
Oh, shit. The one that was sent to Sandpoint to kill the devil with Marcus. Marcus.
Sort of, you see them sort of turn their heads to each other, and one of them, the one on the right, takes off their helmet, puts it on the ground, and he comes over to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. And do you look up to them, or are you like staring at the ground? I'm not sure.
Yeah, when they were like, which Erica, Robin like looked up at them to say the Erica that went to Sandpoint with Marcus, and yeah.
Right. But my point is, like, they are sort of coming over to you. You're on your knees, and they're sort of crouching down and putting a hand on your shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, if they're coming out to me, Robin will sort of like look away and, you know, be like, you know what, I'm at your mercy right now. I need your help. Like,
right,
you know.
Right. You feel something washing over you, and then the paladin gets up, and you can see their legs as they turn to look at the other paladin. And the other paladin goes, Why have you impersonated a cleric of Iomade?
Because there are many problems, and I am actually seeking to become a paladin of Iomade. And I recognize that doing that is, not great, but this is a matter of incredible importance, and justice needs to be laid down on the undead.
The undead are the least of our concerns at the moment, I'm afraid.
I have also been made aware of that, and I do have information regarding that.
Then rise, brother, and join us.
Robin stands up. He's like, okay. Do I just...
You sort of, as you're looking at the two paladins, one of them has their eyes like glowing golden as he's like looking at you, and the other one is has removed their helmet and sort of has it under their arm. It's like, follow him. He'll show you the way in. We'll have to explain some things.
Of course. Whew.
The paladin with the golden eyes that was the first one to remove his helmet. He's gonna gesture for you to follow him into the cathedral.
Of course. And Robin's gonna be like, "Hi, my name is Robin."
Damn it. I'm trying not to break out in laughter because you just pulled a Chad.
That's why it was muted. It was like, don't make a comment, don't comment.
Well, Robin, my name is Salazar. Pleasure to meet you. Now, I will have to subject you to a zone of truth as we ask you a couple of questions.
I believe that is perfectly okay.
Good. You see, your companion, friend, acquaintance, what is your relationship with Erica?
I was with her when we, I guess, destroyed the Devil of Sandpoint. It was a black horse with a flaming hooves, and it breathed. It was horrible, but we totally fucked it up. Oh shit, language. Fuck. My bad.
Please proceed without the foul language.
Of course.
And he sort of is leading you deeper into the cathedral, and you see a couple clerics are sort of turning their heads to look at you. But we'll put a hold on that one, and we'll go back to what's going on at the gates. As you guys have, Salara, you have been released and are with you, the rest of your party for a moment.
Put my gloves back on.
Yeah. A couple minutes later, you're gonna hear the shouting start to die down from inside of the shack.
Also, could I have used my ability again on the door and listened to the entire conversation?
Yes, you could if you wanted to.
I would definitely do it.
Okay.
I could use this thing like 10 times a day for 10 minutes apiece.
All right.
You can use it 10 times a day.
Yeah. Wisdom plus 3.
I'll summarize it, but essentially, you heard things along the lines of, "I can't believe you're doing this again. You have to understand there are protocols to follow, and you can't arrest someone without a due process. And I get it. You're trying to get back on the line. You want to get your promotion again. But I'm sorry. You're gonna have to understand that certain things cannot be rushed." And like he's essentially getting an earful from his immediate superior.
I let them know that he was recently demoted.
From the sounds of it, it's not that he was recently demoted. He was recently denied a promotion.
Oh, denied. Okay, gotcha. I mean, he may be getting demoted soon.
Yeah.
Start calling him private.
There is no private calls in Galarian. There is only clerics. So, that is the sort of the essential gist of it. But you do catch a couple other details that might interest you, such as there's a mention of the ongoing investigation a couple times, and from the sounds of it, it seems to be the investigation into the murders that they are both involved in. And it seems like Lieutenant Lycott is the one. Sounds like he's the one responsible. As he's saying, like, look, I cannot have you risk the integrity of the operation as we're at a crucial moment with these inopportune and, well, you're overstepping your conditions. You're overstepping your authority. You have to understand that. Next time I'm going to be forced to present a full declaration of complaint against the office. Yeah, look, I get it. I promise it won't happen again, so. That's what you said last time. This is the last time I'm giving you a chance. Right, dismissed. And he walks out, and he sort of looks around trying to spot you. Dorban, I imagine, like, as you hear him go, getting closer to the door,
Yeah.
you would...
Oh, yeah, no, I'd move away very quickly.
Yeah. He opens the door. He sort of looks around and sees you pretty close to the door. Says, all right. Sorry about the incident before. I'm doing the best I can to maintain order, but it's proving to be quite difficult and trying in these times. Could you do me the favor of gathering your companions?
Of course. And I will gather probably just Silera and Red.
All right. So you gather your companions and come back to him and goes, all right. As I understand it, there were some information that may be relevant to what's going on that you wanted to share.
Yes.
Right.
Very important information. Provide.
Right. Let me reintroduce myself. I am Lieutenant Jean Lycott. I'm currently the person in charge of the investigation. I'm handling it as best I can. Though I will have to admit that I am a little bit out of my zone of comfort. Usually wouldn't be handling these many separate units, but I'm doing my best to keep the city contained. You understand? I can't have the suspects coming in and going out freely.
Oh, we completely understand the situation.
What happened to the other lieutenants? If you don't mind.
Sandy, you're super quiet.
Super quiet suddenly, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to your mic, but you sound like you're 20 feet away from it.
Yeah.
You may want to do what Sigus did and up your output volume, if you can.
Let me try that.
I don't. Why did it change mid-session though?
It's so random.
I have no idea. I mean, he went in and out of Discord a couple times, so I'm not sure if he's having issues or not.
Yeah, there was some weirdness. Voice input volume.
Okay. If you don't change your volume, I can boost you to 200% and it sounds about right.
Do something?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me at normally now?
Yeah, I mean I have you boosted to 200% and it sounds normal. So no.
Oh, okay. Well, just leave it with that for a second. I had to switch the input I was using because my phone died.
Ah, okay. So you're on a different setup. Right. Everyone just boost Sandy to 200% for the time being, and we'll fix it afterwards.
Okay.
So what were you saying, Red?
Sorry. Sorry. What happened to the other lieutenants? Why are you so strapped? I've been in and out of the city before, and I've never seen it like.
Well, the other lieutenants are currently otherwise preoccupied with handling the security itself within the town. I am currently being made responsible for the investigation across the city. So,
so
in a way, this is a promotion for me, but now it's a huge responsibility.
Well, you picked the right night to check on the gate, right, guys?
Yeah, thank you for checking the gate.
We appreciate you handling the situation professionally. It's unfortunate he was incredibly unprofessional.
This is the standard that should be kept across the Magnamore Watch. I'm afraid, and I apologize for the inconveniences that perhaps some of our less ideal members might have cost you.
Can I sense motive to make sure this is all genuine?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You get the feeling that this man is a career military. He's been, and he like believes in the cause. Essentially, you get that sort of, I am doing this the right way, or I'm not doing it at all, kind of feeling.
Awesome. Dorban will give Silera a nod.
Okay. Before we start, I don't mean to kind of sidetrack, but once all of this settles down, I would maybe, no disrespect, I would maybe consider keeping a better eye on that gentleman. And I pause and I'm like, sir, that interrogated me? Because...
Sergeant Cadron.
Sure. Because not only was he trying to connect me direct whatever is happening here, he very bluntly and often implied any sort of specific favors that I could maybe in order for a better outcome.
I understand what you're getting at. He does have an outstanding complaint about his inappropriate sexual behavior. I'm sorry for the inconveniences. I will have to reiterate the complaint to our superiors. I will make sure that it gets properly addressed.
Thank you. And I understand that you're tight with stuff right now, so I am completely understanding of that.
As blunt and as crooked as he is still a capable fighter, and he has a good pair of eyes. He does spot the little details. So...
Dorban will laugh at that one.
Yeah.
I completely understand, sir.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are stretched thin for personnel. So, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, I would request that you keep your complaint on hold until the situation can be addressed.
Of course. And just to, because we didn't really get a chance to, I guess, introduce ourselves. You may have heard of us. Just recently, we are the Heroes of Sandpoint. Just to give us a little bit of credibility here, because I know that coming up to the gates and just saying that we know things is not a conductive way to do things. So I just want to first say that to give some credibility to us, that we recently helped Sandpoint, and we've helped some clerics or paladins that were sent from here. Erica, we actually unfortunately was not able to help Marcus return safely, but
I haven't heard of the Heroes of Sandpoint, but do you have any kind of voucher or a noble that might vouch for you?
I'll show him the badge of Sandpoint. We were elected,
he'll
were
take a look at it.
Deputies.
We all have them.
I was gonna say we could also point back to Simon. But...
Yeah, you could just say Devrin.
I'm afraid the badges, well, I do find no reason to suspect you. I cannot take them at heart or as a valid vouch of your integrity, moral integrity.
Did you say you needed a noble?
If there is a noble of good standing that could vouch for you, then I could take their word for it.
Are no noble of good standing?
Well, I mean...
Not of Magnemar,
yeah.
No, it's not a good idea to bring up that you're a Kervosan in Magnemar.
Red will kind of like look at Dorbin and be like, Simon, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's reasonable at this point.
Yeah, he's a straight shooter. We're gonna tell him what he wants to know.
We would gladly share the information with you since you're leading the investigation. We have some documents and things that may help.
Good.
And in terms of the noble, these are, and he'll kind of gesture back, our traveling companions, and kind of gesture to Simon and Ruben.
Sort of looks over.
Also Sigist, because I had not rounded up Sigist with them.
They're all together, like they're standing clumped up. He sort of looks in their general direction, looks back at you and says, I will consider your vouch for validity. What is the nature of the information that you have brought for us?
Unfortunately, it's not incredibly specific. It talks about a house and a couple people, one of which we have in fact slain. He was part undead, or kind. I don't know. It was.
Who might this person be?
Go ahead.
Who might this person be?
Aldern Foxglove.
Aldern Foxglove of the Foxglove of Magnemar.
Yes. I'm not sure if I know that he's of Magnemar. I thought it was the same point, honestly. I don't
know. Give me a knowledge nobility.
I can get a 10.
Sure.
Oh boy.
If I'm overhearing.
Sure, you can. You're close enough that when he asks this question, sort of out loud, you could overhear it. Dorbin, you're not sure. You do know that Sandpoint is technically under the influence or under the control of Magnemar. So like Magnemar is sort of a capital of a republic / country, but not really. It's more like a city that enforces its influence on nearby cities and takes taxes from them.
So I'll pretty much say exactly what I had said in that I thought he was of Standpoint, but I guess he could be of Magnemar as well.
Sigis, you would know that the Foxgloves are from Magnemar originally. So when he says Aldern Foxglove, the Foxglove of Magnemar, you would know that he is correct in what he's saying. But you're like you're not in the conversation. You're like overhearing this. And Dorbin, he sort of looks back at you and goes, "It's strange. He was, I believe, he was sighted a couple of days ago here, and he hasn't left."
Yeah. So that wasn't technically speaking Foxglove that we slayed potentially, but a semblance of him, I guess.
I mean, once it was dead, it was his body.
May I see these notes, papers that you're speaking of?
Dorbin will gesture to the cellar.
And I will look at Dorbin, still a little hesitant to give this person.
Dorbin.
We simply
out in the open. Though I feel that out in the open may not be the best idea.
Yeah, we could go over to that
If we
side
could
again.
we can go into the
Into the room.
questioning
The
room.
room.
Certainly.
Mhm.
Follow me. And he sort of gestures to go back into the shack. He sort of holds you a hand as he opens up, looks in, and sort of snaps his fingers. And like, Sergeant, you'll finish the paperwork afterwards. I need to interrogate some of the visitors. Please. Sergeant Cadron sort of comes out, and once he's past Lieutenant Lycott, he sort of looks behind his back and like stares daggers at you, Silera, and then keeps walking.
So Sigus will help spread out like the pages too, and will help kind of walk the through the documents and be like, we went to this house and this is where we found these. And
okay, so you're dashing across to join the party into the interrogation room.
Oh, unless we want me to. Sorry, say.
I mean, you were like 10 feet away. Like you could short jog to catch up with the party.
Also, me and Silera had separated the page that actually had the address thing in case.
Yep.
We didn't want to head over.
Dorbin doesn't know that, which is why he just gestured for Silera to do it, because he was concentrating at the door and not paying attention to what they were doing.
All right. Yeah. You guys are sort of ushered in by the lieutenant into the office. He sort of gestures for you guys to stay on one side of the desk. There are not enough chairs for how many people there are in here, but he takes a seat, brings out some paper, takes a couple notes, like he's making a declaration, and he opens up a new folder for this. The door should be locked and secured. Let's see the papers now.
Okay. And
Just want to. It's mostly to identify the nature of the contents and see if I should bring this to my superiors or if I should include it in my investigation.
Okay.
I promise I will handle this with the uttermost diligence.
I am going to provide the note, and then also I had dog-eared some of the important pages of Aldern's journal, and let him know that like these are the kind of the pages that I noted that seem to be of importance, and let him take a look at those.
Yeah, he sort of puts the letter to his left. And by the way, I don't know who it is, but whoever is microwaving something, make sure
I pulled something out.
Mic. He puts the letter to his left, and then is taking notes with on his right hand. He's like going through it. Says, right. This is concerning. And you said you found this in his home?
In
an underground chamber he had tunneled into that was a keeping of some kind of undead artifact.
Right.
Whole house surrounded by ghouls.
I fail to see how this ends up connecting with my current investigation, though I will admit that it is cause for concern. I will make sure.
The reason we feel it connects is because there was murders back in Sandpoint.
Correct.
That had reminiscence of the Butcher of Sandpoint. I'm not sure if you know anything about that, but we were investigating that, and that's when we stumbled upon an incredible amount of ghouls and Aldern as some kind of. It seemed that he'd been possessed by some undead creature.
Right. Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of the ongoing investigation, but I can tell you that it is most unlikely that these two situations have a nature in common. Though it does appear that there's a larger network of criminals at hand. He continues taking some notes and says, I will... Are you... What is your reason to come to McNamara aside from these handing these notes over?
To...
For me personally?
I have also been a target specifically for this. And so I know that all of us are trying to rid of the ghouls and the source of the ghouls, but also just trying to make sure that nobody else gets hurt or nobody else gets targeted, like I have been targeted. Yeah.
Okay.
In general, as just to kind of go off what Seller was talking about, we've had upon finding the negative energy type thing in the basement, we feel that it needs to be cleansed, and we need somebody of divine talent to fix it, because I do not have the power necessary for that. I tried to consecrate the grounds, but it was ineffective, and it is producing ghouls, so it needs to be taken care of quickly.
All right, I will direct you to someone who can handle that subject. I will write you a note. They shouldn't refuse by any means, and you seem quite capable. And if
you need any help with your investigation, feel free to let us know. We will gladly help.
As I explained, I am short on hands, and well, you have already done deputy work, from what I understand. So I believe you might be fit for helping me with official business. Could I count with your assistance on the investigation?
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Great. He takes a couple more notes.
Red stays quiet.
Yeah. he takes a couple notes. He sort of drafts a letter and sort of seals it and passes it over to Silera, because she's the one that gave him the documents. Says, you should be able to take this one to the cathedral in the capital district. You should be greeted by my brother once you deliver this. Should be able to help you with your negative energy problem. He starts scribbling something on a new draft.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Could we get a map of the city as well? Because this is my first time here, and
yeah, just
get lost.
Give me a moment, and I'll give you a guard's draft map. He finishes up a second draft, puts a seal on it, and hands the new letter to Salera again. Says, I will recommend that you first present yourselves at the Halls of Justice. You should be able to hand this note at the entrance, and they'll take you to meet Justice Ironbriar. He is the current judge at the head of this investigation. He's the one handling all the occurrences, and he'll have to approve of your involvement if you wish to have any kind of authority within the town. Trespassing into any kind of household is a severe crime within Magnamar. So I would recommend that you get your proper justification from him directly.
Okay, sounds good.
Right. That note should explain everything that he needs to know, and you should take these papers with you. And he sort of hands the notes, the letter and the little book that you gave him.
And where might we locate him?
He should still be. Actually, what time is it anyway? About 2 a.m. Might have to wait a couple hours. He should be up by 4. The Halls of Justice, you'll find it. It's the first massive garden on your left-hand side once you go down the main avenue. You should find it dividing the Alabaster from the Capital District.
Okay.
It's hard to miss.
And
yes.
Any recommend where we might stay this evening?
Yeah, I do have a recommendation. There's an inn that is quite affordable and quite comfortable. You'll find it down in the dockways, about a block away from where it meets with Beacon's Point. It's easy to find it. It's just across from the large sort of lighthouse that sort of pinpoints the start of the docks. Just across from it, you'll find a black building with a little bit of a sheen to its paint. It's called the Crimson Raven. You should be able to ask the locals as you're getting close to it. They should be able to pinpoint you in the right direction.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Right. Solera, Dorban, Sigis, and your name was. Wait, because the only one who didn't introduce himself was Red. Red, do you give your name, or do you give an alias, or what are you doing? He is muted.
He's typing because we can't hear him, even when he was
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry, my mic died again.
Hey.
So I missed some of that, but he'd go and give his proper name and say that he's Deader. Deader.
Oh, Deader. Well, pleasure to meet you, Deader. I'm glad to count you, albeit perhaps a bit early on this, but count you amongst the allies of this town.
Well, we hope to see if we can't further cement that.
Follow me. I'll lead you into the city through the private gates. You should be able to walk through the town. I would recommend keeping your weapons at the ready. As you know, there are murderers on the loose that we're trying to handle. If you see anyone suspicious, I would recommend either calling for backup or running. Do not engage these people. They have already claimed over 70 victims in the span of the last 3 months.
Oh.
Don't worry, if I need assistance, I can create lights and I'll just throw them into the air and run and shout. Wait,
what do they look like?
Just be a fucking beacon of alarms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Deader, we don't know. We have been unable to capture a single one of them. We do know that it is more than one, and we have been calling them the Skinsaw Cult. The name has been a little bit of a moniker, given how the state in which their victims show up.
Guessing it's skinless.
And sometimes headless as well.
Classy.
I would recommend to stick to the main roads and where there is plenty of light. And well, you'll find that no home is open after the sunset. Everyone is currently under lockdown. He's saying this as he's like locking up the shack and like leading you past the the guards and over to the sort of iron gate that is small to one side of the portcullis, and he's unlocking the gates.
And as we walk out, I'm gonna make eye contact with the other guard and
Caden, I think.
glare at him.
Adrian, yeah.
Caden.
He's got his back to you because he's handling Grigori, Simon, and Ruben currently.
Can we wave them over?
Yeah, I would ask if they are with us. Would they be?
I mean, those are the people that we were escorting here to the city that I told you about when we first asked why we were here.
Right. Unfortunately, unless they are going to join you in this investigation, I cannot.
Well, I mean, we can ask them. They might be of help.
Right.
Grigori will be.
So
most likely Grigori will.
Is definitely with us in investigating.
Yeah, he sort of stops unlocking the door, pulls the keys, and sort of holds them in hand as he goes back with you guys towards the group. It's like, Adrian, stand aside for a minute. Gentlemen, as I've been informed, you and your party are here to assist in the investigations pertaining the murders in Magnamore. Is this correct?
Red will kind of try to subtly nod behind this guy.
Grigori sort of looks over to you guys, and like he's waiting for a response like Red's. Says, yes, we are good. We're here for help. Handling undead and murderers is what I am good at. And like Simon and Ruben sort of turn their heads to look at Grigori because that statement, while it is true, it is extremely suspicious. And they're like, yes. In fact, I was headed here after I heard something had occurred to my family. I'm here to delve deeper into an investigation, which just happens to be a happy coincidence, it seems. I'm his guard, so I'm doing whatever he's doing. All right. Well, in that case, I'm glad to have your cooperation in this subject. And you hear Sergeant Cadron sort of like, wait, hold. Cadron. Son of a bitch. Please follow me. And Lieutenant Lycott starts leading the now party of 7 through the side gates. And you can hear the merchants like, wait, what the fuck? They're getting through? We've been here for 2 days now. What? Like they're starting to complain to Cadron, and he's like, shut the fuck up. So they're starting to get into a scuffle between Cadron and the merchants as Lycott sort of leads you through this side entrance. What were you gonna say, Celera?
I was gonna say hi.
Yeah. So you guys go into the town, and I'm gonna do one last scene before we end the session, and that is gonna be what is going on with Robin as we come to a close. So Robin.
Yep.
Salazar, Paladin Salazar, is sort of leading you into the cathedral, and he brings you in front of the altar, sort of in the gap between the benches and where the first steps leading up to the altar are. And you're quickly surrounded by 2 other clerics. And Salazar sort of looks at you and says, I will have to ask you to take a knee.
Robin does so.
He puts a hand on your head, and you feel energy run through your body, and then on the ground, a large circle appears. And he says, you will speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Or so help us Ayomade, and cleanse our souls in purging fire. So, I do have several questions I must ask you. Do you
Robin
know?
just sort of nods. Yeah.
Do you know former paladin Erica Legato?
Robin sort of like inhales sharply, like looks up at him at when he says former, and he's just gonna like look super stressed because he has no idea what's going on. He's gonna be like, "Yes, I know Erica."
Right. And with those words, that is we're gonna end it for tonight's session.
Oh fuck.
No.
Oh fuck.
Such a
Here, I
fucking
thought you were gonna give us
cliffhanger.
a scene.
Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna end it on a cliffhanger? No.
Nah.
You clearly
Nah.
don't know me.
Yeah. Oh shit.
They just cast on a truth, and then we're leaving on them about to ask some questions.
Yep, and the reveal of Erica being former paladin. Whether that means she's dead or destitute, you don't know yet.
Oh shit.
Yup.
Please tell me I can get my amulet back.
Yeah, we're gonna want that.
Well, good
Nah.
luck.
Detect locate
now.
object. We need this shit.
I don't know who Indy Smith is, but I if it is one of you guys, thank you for the follow. Otherwise, also thank you for the follow.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Nice.
Oh, bam.
That's not one of us, so.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Ella.
man.
Heck yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Ella. Alright, but with that, our session is concluded, and so our stream must end. So it has been a
Yay,
while.
we're streaming a
but
while.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are actually streaming this time, so we can actually say, well, goodbye, stream.
Goodbye,
stream.
stream.
Goodbye, lady, whoever subscribed.
Yeah.